Hi.
There we go. Wonderful. Wonderful! Welcome, everybody, to the Renegade Realm Podcast, episode 128,346. No, episode 128. It's been 3 whole months, if you can believe it. It's wild. It's been a great break, and today I have my good friend Colt Eastwood ushering me back into the new world like a newborn babe.
Forcing
me out of the podcast womb. Yeah. Thank you all so much for being here. Before we get into it, for anyone who's new here and you're like, who the hell are you? Who the hell's that guy? What is happening right now? This is a weekly podcast, Renegade Realm Podcast. It's been on hiatus for a long time. We go live every single week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about all things gaming, RPGs, all the stuff that we do, and we just have fun. This is not a family-friendly podcast, but while Colt's here, I try to do my best. Not to say the C word, Canadian. No, I'm just kidding.
Canuck. Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for being here, and it means a lot. It means a lot. During the time that I had away from the podcast, we didn't lose any subscribers. which is nuts. I don't know how the hell that happened. No idea.
Well,
how
I
it
know
happened.
how.
Because the community is incredible, right?
The community's incredible, but you've also been cranking out really good videos that people have been just chewing and eating up, like covering Stalker, Fallout, Starfield stuff, especially the Stalker and the Starfield stuff has been like, it's been amazing to watch people just jump all over those videos and watch them and show support, and we talk behind the scenes all the time about all of the cool people that are in the comments, and then the occasional people like, why don't you don't go off yourself with a meat clipper?
Meat clipper.
With a weed whacker.
Yeah, except with a weed whacker. Yeah, that's the way to go. Yeah, why don't you make me go faster even yet? But I do want to thank everyone so much for being here. Shout out to the channel members who have narrowed down. First of all, thank you so much to FarkU, who just became a channel member. Thank you so much. The support means everything. You guys, thank you so much for doing that. Shout out to Cold Eastwood, channel member, who's here right now. Hargeet Chani, Game Seeker, Highlander Grim, Biff Rinaldi, who's also here, and American Fury, who's also here. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to the channel members. Shout out to everyone in chat. Everyone, my friend. Let's see. Ion Storm is here. Arcane, Game Adaptation. That blue number says, who's we? What the hell's going on? I added the hell. Thank you for being here.
We.
Frog Thought, Assassin, brother, Neil B. See who else is here. I think I grabbed everyone. That's actually in chat. But if you're
Biff
new
Rinaldi.
here,
I don't remember if you said Biff.
Biff Rinaldi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We hung out with
So
him
good you
the
have to
other
say
night.
his name twice.
Exactly. Biff.
Yeah.
Rinaldi.
We did.
It was a great time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. And again, if you guys are new here, say hello in chat. Do what you do. Do what it do. But Cody Eastwood, you're here. Dude, how have you been? What you been playing? What you been eating? You know, that kind of stuff.
Barbecued chicken, trying to stay off of carbs, trying to stay away from caffeine, because over the Christmas break and New Year's break, I drank so much Mountain Dew that when I went off of the caffeine, I was like, that guy that wakes up in his bed like, what?
You're like Professor X. It's like,
it was
who's having a
bad.
Seizure. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Gandalf, you know, after he falls down with the Balrog. It's great. Yeah, but really, oh my gosh, in love, head over heels in love with someone. No, with Fallout 76.
Me.
And I think I was reluctantly pulled in by that blue number in Game Seeker, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to. Okay. And then something just clicked. Between watching the show again, you know, watching season 2.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's so great, and just unlocked some really amazing stuff, like customization and stuff for the camp that has like brought the ownership of feeling like I'm progressing even more, and finished a bunch of big major like, I don't know if people, I'm gonna make a whole video about this. I don't know if you know, I'll just end my statement with this, is there is tons of narrative driven quest lines in the game, like where you're talking to tons of NPCs, making choices, and I did not realize it. So I've been a happy gamer who's not playing Arc Raiders anymore. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I need to get back into it. We talked about it after I was on King Fan Man's show. Shout out to him. He's such a nice dude. And he was telling me, yeah, and he was like, you got to get back into it. I'm like, I need to just play it by myself to get caught up. And because whenever I was playing with you guys, I was like, there was like so much going on. I was just like, I don't know where to even begin. I have been away from it for so long. But the game has had such incredible support, and yeah, I need to get back into it. But like you, I was like, I want to rewatch the first season of Fallout before I get into season 2, just that way it's fresh on my mind. And I got like 2 episodes in. I think I got 2 episodes in, and I was like, I just want to play Fallout. I went immediately, started up Fallout 4 survival mode, because you know how I am, and that's just been amazing. And now I'm like, and now everyone's, you need to play Fallout 76. I can't juggle all these Bethesda games. But I do need to get back into it. Yeah. And wait, barbecue chicken, you said. Are you, do you grill on the grill, like in foil, or what do you do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I need to lose weight again. So I take a frozen chicken breast and marinate it in a Ziploc bag overnight with seasoning and maybe some hot honey or sriracha. And so the next day, when I throw it on the barbecue for, like 6 or 8 minutes on the side, on each side, it's just really good.
That sounds amazing.
And yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. Because I was, larding it up for like the past 6 months. There was a point when I lost all this weight last year. And then when Xbox said they weren't going to do FanFest and I wouldn't be flying to LA to see all of my friends that are in this space, I'm like, well,
who cares?
Time to get fat. Just let it all hang out.
Yeah,
Nothing to
exactly.
live for anymore.
When you pull out, every time that you do a podcast, the keyboard is slowly starting to fit on top of the roll that's coming over
it's
onto
like,
the desk.
let me talk to the chat, and you're like this.
Yes. That's good, man. That makes me hungry. Barbecue chicken. That sounds really good. John DeMarco, what's up, bro? RSJ fan is here.
What's up, DeMarco?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Biff Rinaldi, member for 8 months, says, how long before they start singing? We'll take bets.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna happen, I'm sure.
When we're in party chat, we are insufferable.
Yeah, people love it.
Yeah.
Especially Hargeet Chani, who isn't here today, but he's here in spirits.
Red, come over here. Hold on. Photo mode.
Exactly.
Photo mode.
Just the whole entire show. Yeah, that'd be great. Anyway, chat, what have you guys been playing? I'm curious. I want to know. Tell me what you've been playing. I actually went through, for people that follow me on Twitter, I went through the entire Stalker trilogy again. Beat all 3 of them again for the 3rd time or whatever. It got all the achievement. I did everything that there is to do. It was like a multi-100-hour journey. And then I was like, I'm not done. And I was like, but there's no more Stalker to play. I'm still waiting on Stalker expansion. I'm waiting for more. Even though I'm covering it, I am staying away from it until it's got a ton more content. So I started Metro. Now, there's a mode called Ranger Hardcore Survival Mode. And it's built around this mode to function. It gives you all the tools to function without needing a HUD. So you can still check your ammo. You can still see where you're going. You're never going to get lost. You're like, what do I do? How do I? It's so incredible. I went through the entire trilogy on that hardcore mode. And last night, I beat Metro Exodus like 75 hours in that game. And I beat it in
Artyom.
Yeah, the whole game. There's just Miller just
Artyom. Do you hear the train? Chugga, 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 chugga.
So true. That voice actor, man.
And you're licking bullets.
Yeah, there's like.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
so good.
So I've been playing that so much.
But now you have the DLC, which is voiced by the dude from Bulletstorm, Steve
and Wolverine,
Bloom.
Steve Bloom.
Right?
Yeah, he's like Artyom. And I'm like, you can't ever hide. He was in the original trilogy as well, but he played just random Russian dudes. He played like Bartholomew. Or
you'd always hear him. So it's like, oh, it's Grunt from Mass Effect 2.
It's Grunt. It's Wolverine or Bulletstorm guy. He's so good, man. He's one of. Did you know that Steven Bloom was supposed to be Marcus Phoenix? Is that right? Yeah.
I think I did hear that.
Yeah.
That would have worked.
Yeah, that would have been fine. RTM. I don't know. Okay. They sound very similar, but anyway, I'm going to probably start that DLC tonight. The first DLC, which is 2 kernels. It's like 2 hours.
What's it called? I know you use a flamethrower for a bunch of it because you're burning out.
That's right.
That's a great game.
Yeah. I started that last night.
Game.
I was like, I have to go to bed. This is not going to work. But yeah, you start off and you're in the metro and you have to burn out the infestation that you see at the end of the game with another metro tunnel. So you kind of
Back in 2020, I used a lot of Metro Exodus footage when I was talking about the upcoming next generation because that game looks incredible. It just looks like one of the best looking games you've ever laid your eyes on. It's just a really nice looking game.
Yeah.
Really super impressive. Everyone took that screenshot in the opening when you come out of the subway and there's that snow-covered city.
Yes.
Everyone took a screenshot there and shared it. Same shot. Sun's in your eyes.
Yep.
It's amazing.
And you have like the glare. You have like I don't know how the game looks so good and runs so well. Like you have like your mask on and you have like sweat drops on your gas mask with the light coming through and it's like bouncing off each little droplet, and yeah, you can wipe your face mask, which by the way, I found out every time that I've seen people play Stalker Anomaly or Gamma, which is a huge like modded up version of Stalker Original Trilogy, they mod in that hand wipe thing. I was like, where does that come from? And it's from Metro.
Oh, and it's not in there in the original?
It's not in there in the because you don't have any gas mask in Stalker. It's just sort of on you, but you can't like take it off and put it on with animations and all that. But anyway, yeah. So I've been obsessed with that. I've been trying to stay away from Starfield and Stalker because, well, I'll just never come back. So anyway, shout out to 30 people here hanging out with us. I appreciate you. Again, if you're just jumping in and you're new here, this is a weekly gaming podcast that's finally come back. We go live every single
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Weekly again.
It's finally weekly again. Yeah, without the A. Yes, thank you guys so much for being here. Week without
far
the A.
too long to get that.
So T-Reximus.
I was like, weeklay?
Weeklay. That's how you spell it. T-Reximus.
Weeklay?
Playing Bioshock. Hell yeah, brother. Ion Storm playing AC Shadows.
I hope we're so close to Judas.
Are we close to
playing
Judas?
T-Rex is playing Bioshock. I hope so. I mean, I thought we were going to see it last spring, but they're saying it's going to be 2026, but who knows? Yeah. I make those videos. I'm like, look at all these games that are coming when all the developers are saying, hey, we're going to be out in 2025. And then, like, I have a video that says Fable's out in 2024.
Oh,
yeah.
Yikes.
Probably should go delete that.
Yeah, probably should just go done with that.
It's kind of weak without the A. Weekly without the A.
Yeah, weak without the A. Exactly. Have I been spelling it wrong this whole time? Let's see. Ion says, have you done any more
It's like the haters that...
No, go ahead. The haters?
Oh my gosh. Is that... Yeah, there's Bloodlines too. Yeah. I was going to say it's like the haters when they insult you but they can't spell.
Yes.
You're M dumb.
Yeah. You are M dumb. Thanks. Great. Don't forget to subscribe.
Starfield is Tersh.
Yeah,
okay.
Dude, I love when someone's
they're like
screaming at you.
They're so quick. They want to write so fast how they hate Starfield. They're like...
I'm like, I hope that'll show them. And it's like, Tersh MDF, you suck trash. I'm like, great. Love that.
Starfield.
Starfield, yeah. Starfield space. Yeah. Oh my god, I love it. Let's see. Have I played any more Bloodlines?
Sorry,
2?
go back to Iron Storm's question.
I haven't, bro, because I want the best experience. Everyone that knows me, I've said this a million times, I'm fine with 30 FPS if it's steady. I got to a certain point in Bloodlines 2, it's you get into like this big mansion area, and the frames were so bad, and then ever since I got out of that area, you move so fast in that game. You're like sprinting at 85 miles per hour, jumping across rooftops. And whenever a frame drops, when you're moving that fast, it just completely, you're like, oh, and I feel like you hit like a brick wall. So I have not returned to it, bro. You've seen me post on Twitter very politely asking the devs, please, patch the game. Please, I'm patiently waiting. So I haven't gotten into it again, bro, but I will. I absolutely will. 30 FPS for life. Rectoplasmic, which is a wonderful name. I love that. Says, brand new here. Thank you so much for being here, man. Says, have you guys ever played Hot Wheels Unleashed, but with the A?
Yeah.
Where's the A? Where would the A go there? Where can we put the A? Hot Wheels Unleashed. I mean, that could work.
Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Yeah. Great. Sir, he's coming in too hot.
Yeah. I have.
You have.
I've played. Wait. They said Hot Wheels was Unleashed 1 because I played both of them, but mostly played the first one. Like almost everything. I did all. At least I did every race until I couldn't unlock much more with the A. That's funny. Yeah. Hot Wheels Unleashed is pretty fun. That's you're actually inside gigantic garages or living rooms. Like, so your car is life size for Hot Wheels. So the backdrop is a garage or someone's like playroom or their bedroom. And it can be kind of infuriating. Like stuff will drop down and completely stop you and the whole race is over, but it's a cool game.
Those are the types of game. Like
I think it was on Game Pass a couple times.
I say I'm not into racing games. I'm not into like the traditional stuff, but whenever they mix things up, like I love the Burnout games because the Burnout games had an element to it of like destruction you could take people out. It wasn't just, racing. I'm sure you can do that in Forza as well, but Star Wars Galactic Racers I'm really excited for that, because that is exactly the type of racing game that I'm looking forward to. See, Dragon's Dogma 2 on consoles had that same issue. Yeah, it did. I remember it being smooth. I don't know, maybe I'm not remembering that correctly, but
I'm trying to remember what that did. It was I think, was it 30 frames? I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was.
And we just kind of put up with it.
Yeah, God, that game was so fun, man. We were in party chat with
I
Dante
enjoyed it.
Moody and Holly, that blue number. Everyone, my friend.
Everyone, and Hargeet was writing his book the entire time. I'm like, how are you not playing this game? This game's incredibly amazing. He's like, and he wrote his book, and he's like, it was like a big moment for him.
And I was like, who's helping you write this? And he's like, Mass Effect by Drew Karpyshyn. But yeah, I need to get his book. He needs. I have crippling ADD, so I need an audiobook. So
I know.
We just need to have Drew Karpyshyn come back and voice the what's the guy's name? Can't remember. I only listened to the beginning 57 times. I can't remember the guy. But speaking of everyone, my friend, everyone. I went to so Tip Tap says Fallout 3 or New Vegas remasters February 4th. What do we think? We will talk about that. Let's just get into this, man. So everyone, please hit the like button. Thank you all so much for being here. So this kind of went under. It didn't go under the radar, but it wasn't really covered enough. And then King Fan Man, I was on his show, and he brought up some other interviews that Todd Howard was in, and he was talking about how, they asked him something about Oblivion Remastered, and he said that worked out. That was like his dream scenario. And everyone is always asking Todd Howard about how Elder Scrolls 6 is coming along, where is it? And he's always like, it's still a long ways off. But then in the same interview, he's like, I like to say that. I like to say it's a long ways off, and then out of nowhere, here it is. It's out right now. And a lot of people are saying, like, the Oblivion Remastered could definitely be a testing bed for shadow dropping the Elder Scrolls 6, essentially. And I don't know personally, man.
I can't imagine that.
I can't either, but at the same time, I can imagine it working. Like, I don't know how to like parse that. I can't imagine it ever happening, but I imagine if it wouldn't fail, that it would break the internet and it would absolutely work.
Yeah, I mean, you could shadow drop Grand Theft Auto 6 and not lose a single sale. Like, maybe, I mean, it could be even better for it. But, I don't know. I think in 2026, if they wanted the game to come out, you would really want some lead up time to get people excited and prepared and all the marketing for that, because you have such a busy schedule all year long with everyone else's games. So I don't know if I think the possibility of a shadow drop would come from another Bethesda release that's in the near future.
Right.
So
and that's sort of what Tip Tap was.
There's a lot to unpack.
Tip Tap was touching on. There's another room. I don't want to jump around too much. Let's just focus on Elder Scrolls. It's in the thumbnail.
Yeah, that's why I was trying not to.
Yeah, because I do want to talk about that. Because I didn't know how to even put that in the title. I'm like, why don't you make me go faster? It's too many letters to type into the thumbnail. But I feel like it would break the internet in like the most confusing way possible. If you were to, oh my God,
if they shadow drop 6,
yeah, but okay, imagine what would be the case for that? Like, what would it look like? Would it be a Todd Howard coming out and saying, "Hey everyone, we're just so excited." He does that. He does like the Phil Spencer thing, and we're so excited to have you here. And they do the whole. We finally get to show you the Elder Scrolls 6, and here's what we're doing. There's ship combat, and there's base building, and spaceships, and force powers. And all, no, but
there's chunks. Like, if you get hungry, we got chunks. If you're hungry and stuff,
and you can eat it, and you can lick it. See that mountain over there? You can touch it.
He's like, you can put all your sandwiches over here, and you can put your sandwiches.
And the developer's like, what I like to do with my ships, I like to make them look like animals. And you just have a giant turtle just going across the sea. God, I watched that thing so many times. You guys, I'm obsessed with that.
We should do a video. You and I should do a collab video where we make fun of everything in that initial reveal.
And be super serious about it.
Sandwiches in it.
We even have a chest specifically for sandwiches, made of a sandwich.
And then Todd Howard's like, you see that sandwich? And we'll have to use AI. You can lick it.
Exactly. You see that sandwich over there? You can eat it. Oh my God. The possibilities are endless with that. But imagine what they typically do, like what they did with the Oblivion Remaster, have this big showcase, show off all the gameplay at the very end, and it's available right now, and the internet just crashes. Would that be what it looks like to you? Because that's how I see it.
Well, I mean, BT Maverick makes a good point. It would crash the stores because if they did like a 25-minute breakdown, like here's Elder Scrolls, welcome to Tamriel, your adventure begins in Hammerfell, and you've got this 25-minute thing like the Starfield Direct where they talk about all those aspects you were explaining. Mm-hmm. So people are sitting there and they get this 25-minute overview of everything they're about to play, and then there's and it's available right now. Like everyone's internet would just go
right, just
because people would go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when the Fallout Shelter, you were talking about this on King Fanman's podcast, such a good show. You were talking about how Fallout 4 was shown at the June Bethesda Con thing, and they said, and you could play it this fall. It comes out September 10th or whatever it was. And we were so amazed because that's the way that game reveals should be. You're finally seeing Fallout 4. I think that day they never admitted that they were working on Fallout 4. They'd never officially announced it, if I remember right, back in 2015. So I think it was yes, Fallout 4 exists. Here's what it looks like. Here's what you could do. It just works. Like you made all those jokes on his podcast.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and you can play it this fall. And he goes, and we're not done. He says, we also have something in the meantime. And he showed off Fallout Shelter on the phone. And he said, it's available right now on Android and iOS. Mm-hmm. And I think everyone's destroying their phones, trying to jump on that. That was another big crash too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
anyway,
do you think that
a little history lesson?
I remember people making videos out of the characters in Fallout Shelter. Like we saw Preston Garvey, and they're like, oh, what does this mean? Is that the same guy from the whatever?
Yeah.
Bethesda has already tried their hand with a Elder Scrolls mobile game, Blades. And then they had that card game, didn't do so well. But honestly, I don't know how well Fallout Shelter would have done if it wasn't backed up by the hype of Fallout 4 anyway. I don't know.
Of course, yeah.
Do you think that they would even try to do a mobile, Elder Scrolls Shelter, Shelter Scrolls?
It's a mobile Elder Scrolls game where you go through and just chop down trees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a thing.
I mean, you and King Fanman were breaking down, there are a bunch of projects. Bethesda has gone from 600 employees to 1,500 employees over this past year or two. Microsoft said we're no longer going to invest in things unless they're a sure thing. And so what that meant was no survival game from Blizzard. Instead, you guys are going to be probably helping with Fallout and Elder Scrolls efforts.
Yeah.
Which I think it sucks that you don't get new, refreshing things, but the wait for Elder Scrolls and Fallout was becoming a joke, right? So King Fanman broke down that there's 8 projects. One of them is, I think, is a Fallout Shelter 2 or another overhaul or something. Mm-hmm. And then you've got a couple of remasters, and then you have Fallout 5, and then King and I are really convinced that Obsidian Entertainment is actually being charged to make their own Fallout game. Mm-hmm. So, which would be their take on Fallout, not here, take Fallout 4 and make a spin-off off of it.
Yeah.
I really think that Obsidian Entertainment is going to be making a Fallout game in Unreal Engine 5 where they have been working, and it's going to be their iteration with the blessing and direction of Bethesda. So that could be really interesting with Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine's don't guess what I'm working on. You'll never guess it.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, okay,
as
bud.
I fixed my camera. That's what I was going to say. It looks like I was asleep there for I was just like...
What was it, frozen?
Yeah, it was frozen. I was like...
Oh.
So...
Yeah,
yeah.
anyway.
Tim Kaine was like, "You're never gonna guess," and everyone was like, "Fallout." He's like, no, but maybe. I don't know.
It's Fallout without the A.
It's like it's flout.
It's Flauta.
Flautist. A flautist, Peter.
That one
you
guy.
Remember that Family
from,
Guy? It was the very first episode of Family Guy ever, and it was the apocalypse one, and Brian had a date with the flautist, and he's like, "Yeah, I got a date with a flautist," and then they all had to run under in the basement. He's like, "I missed my date with a flautist." A flautist, Peter. So dumb. That was like from like 27 years ago, that episode. Anyway.
I know you were like 4. You shouldn't have been watching that show.
I shouldn't. How old? I was 10. I was 10 whenever that show aired.
What did it come out in, like 05 or 04?
99.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
99, 2000. Yeah, had
it was probably
it was
05
right
or 06 when I started watching it. Yeah.
And so
when I
it
started
was on the
watching
cusp of
DVDs.
Y2K and all that. It was everyone, talking about that. Like, we can write an episode about that. Anyway,
It was all hand drawn back then too, because it looked sloppy compared to now.
Dude, and the thing is, like, I miss that sort of janky charm, because I love both of it. I love to go back and watch the older Family Guy stuff, because there were like little. You could like see like little issues, but it like was part of the charm. But anyway, Elder Scrolls. I don't think it's gonna shadow drop, but I think that whenever it's ready, I think it could have at the very least have the and it's coming out in 4 months type thing. I think that could definitely be a thing. The issue is, like, nowadays games get delayed so much. And I had a lot of pushback. I mean, I feel like everyone always pushes back against GTA, and maybe even Red Dead to an extent. And I feel like with how games get delayed nowadays, it's like GTA could get pushed forward a month and it could just ruin an entire studio. And it's like, well, and I see a lot of people say, well, you can't compare GTA to anything because people aren't going to be playing Elder Scrolls and GTA in the same month. Yes, they would. They 100% would, because GTA is sort of like it set the foundation for you could argue open world video games just in general. How many times have you heard about, hey, I've been playing this new game, what's it like? It's GTA, but and you add that on top of it.
Yeah. Always. Yeah.
And like Saints Row. I remember when Saints Row came out. It's GTA, but and
or they say it's Skyrim with, or whatever.
Right,
like
exactly.
That Skyrim with guns was like, yeah. We were having a brief conversation about AI last night on my podcast about how AI steals from artists. Like, artists steal from artists every second.
Yeah.
So like our favorite thing, like your favorite game is Stalker with or Stalker but.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that's what you're doing with Exodus. And yeah, so it's like play to those strengths.
It's such a great
That's
point.
a whole other discussion about Starfield. Starfield should have been Fallout with or Fallout but.
Right.
And it wasn't. And
exactly.
that really pissed people off.
And so many things build the foundation of what came before, and they try to improve on that, or they take inspiration from that. Like, I see so many people in my comments saying it should have been, I would have liked Starfield to be more like Elite Dangerous, but, or it should have been more like No Man's Sky, but, and I'm like, but all these games, they're set in a certain genre, but yeah, you can always go play them, like, but you can't have everything in one game. And I think to Starfield, for everything that I love about it, it definitely tried to be a lot.
I wish a lot of that was in No Man's Sky.
Exactly.
I wish a lot of the core, the great gunplay, the great characters, the narrative-driven quests, like all that stuff, and of course the amazing detail and graphics. I wish all that was added to No Man's Sky. Just like people say, I wish No Man's Sky had some of that had been poured into Starfield.
Right.
the seamless travel and stuff.
Right.
Whatever. Right. Yeah,
and I think we're just going to talk about Starfield now because everyone's like, "And
we shouldn't.
No, because
we should. I mean, I don't want you to run into. Yeah, I think you should continue. We should continue to cover the Elder Scrolls thing before we jump off, because then we'll never make it back. But I never asked you. Let me interview you for a second. It's your show. So there are some rumors about Elder Scrolls 6 gameplay details. factions that are included, the location, some of the development timeline stuff. How much of this do you, Red Wolf Renegade, believe or feel like is plausible? Because you haven't made a video on this, so I wanted to hear what your take is on it.
So first of all, when it comes to the leaks, just to set this whole thing up, when it comes to the leaks, we'll talk about Fallout 4 just for a second again, because this reminds me, these type of leaks, you never know what's true anymore, and that's why it's so hard to cover. Before the Fallout 4 released, if you remember the Lone Wanderer leaks that came out on Reddit, the whole thing was there. It was, you wake up and you get cryo frozen, and then the Brotherhood of Steel is doing this thing over here, and then your son is actually an old man, and you're reading all this on paper, and you're like, and you can do this, and power armor is now like a vehicle that you get in, and everything on paper, you're like, this sounds so dumb, and it's so disconnected, all these features thrown left and right,
or made up,
or just made up, and you're like, there's no way that any of this is real. But then you played the game and you watched everything connect cohesively. Like, for example, I remember reading this specific thing with Fallout 4, and I'll compare this to the Elder Scrolls to answer your question. They said you'll be able to play in the post-apocalyptic, and you'll be able to play in modern day before the war. But they were never specific about when you could play. Because everyone's like, that sounds so dumb. Doesn't make any sense. Dumb. Shut up. Throw yourself out of an airlock, shut your YouTube channel down. And it didn't make any sense. And so these kind of leaks, but then it came out, all of it was true. All of it was true. We're like, oh my God, it all makes sense now. So
no one remembers that. That's the problem. Like, people reporting, or supposed leakers, people like me that report on what leakers are saying, because I don't have these sources. And then I was thinking about, when it comes to Elder Scrolls, that they're supposed to be marketing ramping up sometime in early 2026, according to these leaks, for Elder Scrolls, which means they want to show it. The other part of the leak is that Todd doesn't want to wait. He wants to show the game and say it's coming out soon, instead of saying we can't wait for you to play it in a couple of years. So if this game gets shown off, let's say March, they show Elder Scrolls 6, and it's got ship building, it's got ship battles, it has the factions that I put in my video, it's got heavy like gore and mature combat, like I said in the video, and Todd's like, and you'll be able to play the game, November 28th, 2026 or something like that. Yeah. No one's gonna like come back to my channel and say, I'm so sorry I called you a fat liar. I'm so sorry that I didn't believe you. No one cares. And no one should be waiting and write that down on their phone. I got to make sure that if this is right, I got to go back and apologize to all the people, because we're so used to hearing bullcrap rumors, and half of it comes right, or maybe more than half, but it doesn't matter. Like, this is what's going to happen. And I saw so many people who are so burnt by the industry, Red, that the idea of Elder Scrolls actually coming out in 8 years instead of 10 is such a foreign, alien concept to them. People are so negative and so pessimistic. I'm a pessimistic person, negative, when it comes to like stubbing my toe, or it's too cold outside or whatever. Yeah. But when it comes to video games, I'm like, please, I would love to be excited. And when a game gets delayed, I'm like, oh crap, I'll play something else. No one wants to be excited anymore. No one wants to be excited about the prospect of possibly playing Elder Scrolls 6 at the end of this calendar year. They want nothing to do with it, because they would rather just complain. Right. And I don't know why it drives me crazy. People are so mad at, like, when we make videos about Starfield or Elder Scrolls or Oblivion. Remember, we did videos about Oblivion is real and it's coming, and people are like, go lay on a sword, loser. Yeah. I'm like, it's literally video games. Like, either say you're excited about the idea, or say, I don't really care. But the people are just like so angry. Right. And I'm just here to say, what if Elder Scrolls 6 is actually ready in the next 11 months? Or it's almost ready and it gets delayed and we're going to see it in 14 months. Why can't you be happy about that? It's like people want to see Todd fail so hard, and he's done some amazing things, and there's things he could do better, but they're getting it along the way. I don't know. It's just I don't know why I felt the need to say that. Well, amen.
Well, amen, brother, amen.
Without the A.
And shout out to Golden Axe, just dropped a such a inside baseball. He says, someone finally saved that mage that falls in Morrowind. I don't know if you get that reference. Do you get it?
No.
In the very beginning of, I'll just say, in the very beginning of Morrowind, there's a mage that tries to use a scroll that makes him jump really high. So you're walking along the path right outside the city. You just hear, ha! And there's an elf that just falls right in front of you and dies. And for years, people have been trying to, like, save him. And I guess someone did it.
Trying to get there and catch him?
Yeah, like catch him like with a spell. And I think I've seen it done before, but I don't know. Maybe he'll come back. I don't know. Anyway, that was such a funny. That's a true fan. That's how I know they're a true fan. But another thing to your point is that a lot of people are pessimistic, specifically after Fallout 76 and especially Starfield, saying like, I'm worried after what they did with Starfield, this is going to affect what happens with Elder Scrolls 6. They're two completely different games.
Marco.
Shout out to DeMarco. He put out a great video today talking. It's funny we're talking about this. I'm so glad to see him making Starfield videos and Bethesda videos again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're always he threw a shot at me last night in your chat, so that's totally fair.
I know, and I had to do it.
I love
but
DeMarco.
DeMarco's different. Like DeMarco is a big fan, and there are definitely people who just sit on the bleachers and go, "You suck."
Yeah.
To these games,
right?
Yeah.
And
they were never gonna play them.
they were never.
Redfall sucked. You made me waste $70.
You made me pay
We're
for
gonna buy
that.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and I think.
All right, go ahead.
I think
Sorry.
no, it's okay. I think a lot of people are sort of worried because of that, and I feel like even with what Fallout 4 did compared to Fallout 3, like it was an incredible Fallout game, but the big controversy was the one thing, which was the voice protagonists, and people didn't feel like they could be their own character in their worlds, and that's what Bethesda does so well. It gives you player agency. It allows you to go out and be whoever you want. And in Fallout 4, you were Brian T. Delaney, who's a great voice actor, or what's the other chick? She's from Mass Effect, isn't she?
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh my god.
I know I'm doing the same thing you are.
Oh my god, what's her name?
She's so amazing.
Courtney Taylor?
Yes, Courtney Taylor.
There we go.
Good job.
DeMarcus says, Reddy's only glad to see my videos. I'm just glad to see Red. Why Starfield trashed 76 ruined gaming and kicked my dog and killed my grandma?
Yeah, absolutely, DeMarco.
He's like,
Hey,
got the joke.
Fallout 76 kicked my dog and my grandma those first 3 or 4 years. And
Exactly.
Then they finally kind of turned themselves around.
Yeah. But I do.
Anyway, you were
understand-
saying the voice protagonists and
that was the big
Fallout
controversy
4.
with Fallout 4. Imagine Fallout 4 releases and it didn't have any of that. Like, what would have been the complaints? Because
well, the complaint would be that what we see in games like Outer Worlds and Avowed, where your character doesn't say a word, and people are like, "This is bullcrap. This is lazy development. Why aren't the characters speaking?" And then when they speak, they're like, "This is trash. Why are they ruining my immersion?"
exactly. Cyberpunk is another one. Yeah. With the voice
Cyberpunk.
protagonist.
Well, I like.
Yep. I did.
Yeah,
too.
I mean,
I
did
like
people
both of them,
complain about
actually.
that? I liked it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I just didn't like. Sorry, I keep bumping my mic. I didn't like in Fallout 4 the casual attitude. Like, if you haven't played Fallout 4, something very traumatizing happens to your family in the very beginning, and so you're supposed to go out and find out why and how and find out. And your character's like, I suppose I could. Like, that's the way he talks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cogsworth, what's going on?
Codsworth.
Like, there's a couple lines that can be touching, but mostly his attitude is like, I'll see if I can check it out.
Dude, you're nailing it. That is exactly. And I'm like, I would be freaking out, be like,
I love that
Codsworth,
game to death.
what's going on? Codsworth! Like, but he's just like, oh, you're alive.
Grabbing him by the metal ball. Cogsworth!
He's like, sir, please let
Do
go
I
of
look
me."
like that? You can see a reflection in it. Is that what I look like? Big nose and...
Yeah. Do I look handsomely roguish or roguishly handsome? Whatever. Anyway.
You're hogging the mirror again, honey.
Oh my God, yes, it's oh God, it takes me back. Oh my God, I had all these memories just pop into my head. I remember
Sir! You're back, sir, after
it's
200
really
years!
you. Yeah. Oh man, that takes me back. Shout out to Game
Assume the
Seeker.
position, sir!
Sir, touch your toes. I have to inspect you to make sure you don't have rad
Rad without the A.
Rad without the A. It's gonna be a whole new thing. Shout out to Game Seeker. Thank you so much, bro, for the $5 Canadian. Says glad to see your podcast back in action, dude. Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be back, man. I had to take a hiatus just to everyone just take a step back. Everyone get away. Everyone touch grass and now it's finally time to get back. So I really appreciate that. And shout out to Frozen Grass.
Shout out to Game Seeker. Yeah, shout out to Game Seeker for ruining his entire Christmas break by being forced to play Fallout 76 with me like every day, my friend, every day. Yeah, we've been playing all the time. I'll get up in the morning, I'm like, 76? He's like, dude, I was just on for 4 hours. Okay, I'll jump in.
He's like, dude, I'm really tired. Yes, of course I'm gonna come. Well, that didn't sound right, but you know. I have a headache.
Without the A.
Oh, sure. Come without the A. How is that possible?
It's came.
Game. Sorry, that's past tense. Anyway.
No, we have had a pretty good time. Yeah.
Yeah. The hell were we talking about?
You were talking about
Fallout,
the choice of voice protagonists.
Right.
When you get two ADDs together,
it's like two magnets. You just gotta figure it out. You just
Yeah,
gotta figure it out. It's like a kangaroo in water. I don't know. Was Starfield successful? It was financially. It was.
I'm like a kangaroo out of water doing this podcast. I don't think that's a saying.
Ramirez says, of course. Oh, sorry, he's answering his question. It was Starfield was a financial success. It was huge. It was massively.
Yeah,
huge.
it was big time.
But it was after the fact. And to that point, honestly, just to be completely fair, because I'm not a Starfield shill. Whenever you go and watch a movie, you go to the movie theaters, you spend $50 or whatever on popcorn and tickets for all your kids or whoever you're taking. You don't spend money after you've seen the movie judging it based on how much you enjoyed it, right? So that is a very fair point. Just because it's financially successful doesn't mean that people are loving it, right? It's the hype was there for it. But I don't know. Maybe
if it had longer legs, the creations and other things would continue to monetize it more. But I think what Bethesda, you and I, this video we did together, I'm really super proud of because our passion and our expertise, and then our reasonable attitude toward Starfield, what definitely needs to be fixed. Bethesda knows that the world in general is not happy with the final result. You know, you're talking like all these people who rolled 40 to 100 hours on a completed game and then said, I don't know if I love that as much as I thought I did. And they know that. And so sounds like they're trying to right those things. And that's like a whole other discussion. But you were saying to keep you on track as much as possible, which is that the voice protagonist was like a problem for people. I don't know where you were going with that.
What I was saying is that comparatively, when it comes to people being concerned about the Elder Scrolls 6 and what's coming, the only thing that we can compare it to is Starfield, because that was the last major installment. And so people are worried about procedural generation and just empty worlds or whatever. And to that, I've always said, in Skyrim even, you trek across the land through empty nothingness. It's still beautiful. It's still like these beautiful forests and like big rocky Highlandic type plains and whatnot. And you bump into a cave here and there. You bump into bandits or whatever. But you still have to get from point A to point B. And let's be honest, not a lot of people play like I do. After you're like 20 hours into a Fallout game or an Elder Scrolls game, you are teleporting everywhere. You're not even going across those plains. You're not walking from point A to point B. So I don't want to hear everyone bitching about the empty spaces when all you're doing is teleport. No, I'm just kidding. That's too harsh. But
it is kind of true, because when you're organically exploring in both games, you're doing that. But when you're in the middle of a quest, when you're trying to knock down quests, you are not organically exploring at all. I don't care how freeform you think Skyrim is. Once you are saying, okay, instead of just looking for dungeons or watchtowers or whatever, I'm going to work on this quest, you are absolutely teleporting back and forth between locations. You know, sometimes you have to walk. I mean, you do that. I hate how people forget that Starfield had an amazing, dynamic single-player campaign that took you across factions, took you to big set-piece locations, took you across the 5 major planets. And people act like that all they did was walk around a moon planet with nothing to do but look for the cryo lab, which is absolute bullcrap. You'll do that when you're 100, 300 hours in, but
Right.
I don't know. It's always back to Starfield.
Real quick, it is. Speaking of Starfield, thank you so much, Billy F93. So thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really, really appreciate you, man. And good to see you guys here. Guys, if you're just watching and you're not chatting, just say hello. You don't have to, it's okay. It's okay. I know there's a lot of new people here, and thank you all so much for hanging out with us. But I would like to see people in chat interacting. That's what it's all about. It's gaming, right? We're not console warring. We're not being toxic. Well, maybe a little bit, but anyway, thank you so much. He says, Billy says, I've been playing Bethesda games since Oblivion, love Starfield, and really hopeful this update will be great, whether it's 2.0 or not. Yeah, well said. Well said. And anything new coming to Starfield, I know King Fanman was saying, I think this is going to be the last one. I think you agree in terms of DLC. I hope not.
Yeah.
And I said on King Fanman's podcast that I hope at the very least this is Microsoft saying, do whatever you're doing, and this is your last shot. If it doesn't bring in more players,
right,
8,000 players concurrent, because you got like 4,000 or 5,000 people at a time playing Starfield on Steam, and then whoever else is playing on Xbox or whatever. I would hope at the very least that whatever they're doing would bring people back. And whatever is going to happen with this, you bet your ain this is also going to launch alongside the Switch and PlayStation to bring players in. And they're going to judge based off those numbers if they want to continue supporting Starfield in the future. So, yes, I'm with you, Billy. I'm excited. I'm excited for whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, my friend. Let's see. My Ryujin, Ryan, wait, oh, I can't read.
Ryujin.
Ryujin, but his name is Ryan Ouija. Okay, sorry. I was like, isn't that Ouija? My routine question never worked. I'm so sorry. Ryujin. I'm so sorry. I have no idea what that means. I know who Ryujin is. Is he?
Oh yeah. No, he's saying my Ryujin quest never worked. I think is what he meant.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. You had some bugs there. Yeah.
I didn't like that quest line, and everyone else loved it.
It was very slow.
I liked it the least. I really didn't like it.
I remember Hargeet Chani loving it. He was like, "Oh, it's so political espionage." It's sort of like how but it was very slow. It was like, go to this planet, pick the slot, come back. You're like, all right, but what about when I shoot people? Yeah, totally understand. Whenever stuff gets bugged like that, that's the kind of no, that's the worst.
And then they added an ability that never really comes up in the game and is part of the core toolbox of things you can do. And I'm 500 hours in the game and I don't use the the core ability you unlock from the Ryujin quest. So
I can't remember what
anyway,
it was.
I don't want to spoil it.
DeMarcus says, I play by walking everywhere.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that... There are so many people who haven't played the game because it's not on PlayStation, so I don't want to spoil it, but you can make things happen without
a whole thing.
Doing that. It's a whole thing, yeah.
Yeah. See, DeMarcus says, I play by walking everywhere. That's how you find all the cool stuff. No, I totally get it. But I'm obsessive. DeMarcus, you know me. I will disable fast travel with a mod in Skyrim. And in Starfield, by the way. You can't do it. And it makes exploring... I don't want to even get into it. It's going to be a whole thing. Just know, I understand what you're saying. I didn't know that you play that way, DeMarcus, so I apologize, and I will delete my last Starfield video. So I'm sorry.
I have a friend who really complains about the loading screens, but he said as soon as they gave you the ability to go in the menu and hold the button and jump from inside a building to another building on a different planet, he said, I did that. I never walked to my ship. I never got into my ship. I never pointed at a planet. I never... like, he must have only gotten to space battles like 5 times this whole playthrough. As soon as a place was unlocked, loading screen. I'm like, what? I'm walking out of the building. I'm walking up the ramp. I'm slow walking down the corridor, saying, how you doing, buddy? Hey, how you doing, Gunner? How you doing, Jimmy?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I'd get in my chair, and I'd watch the animation, and then when you take off, we're talking about Starfield, of course. When you take off, there's literally a 3-second loading screen. it fades to black after you see your ship take off, which if you took time to build it or customize it, that is an absolute reward. Yeah. You watch your ship take off, it goes to black for 3 seconds. You might see a little thing that says, "Did you know in Starfield if you eat food, you can save sandwiches? You can lick them." And then you're in the game. There was like too many loading screens. Like I think I counted, the longest I counted was like an 8-second loading screen, but I'm making excuses because I enjoy the game.
It is about. We always talk about the wasn't it the Halo devs infamously or famously said like we have like a 6 every 10 seconds or every 8 seconds or something like that. You want to come across something to entice the player to keep going forward. And if your gameplay is interrupted even for like a second, it is sort of like okay, and then you're back in. But I don't know. It's almost like snipping something so thin that you're losing connection with whatever it is anyway, if that makes sense. Like you're still, even though it's not, a full 5-second loading screen or whatever, it is still a black screen, and you're seeing nothing, and your brain is like, all I need to do is open the door or whatever. But you're right. Yeah, it's in Starfield. If you start a brand new game, disable fast travel and enable the real fuel mod, it's available on consoles, by the way. I made a whole video about this. It's incredibly rewarding because everywhere you go, you're not running across every single point of interest within 5 hours. Like you have things to do. You have your ship to maintain. You have your fuel to buy. The economy's changed. And you'll still run across those points of interest every now and then, but it's like every 15 hours instead of every 20 minutes or something. And I know whenever I've said this in my videos, like when you slow down the gameplay of Starfield, it becomes more meaningful. And people are like, that's what I want, the game to be more slow and more boring. And I'm like, it's not about being slower, it's about being more methodical with your approach to each location that you go to. Like, what am I doing? I'm taking care of my ship, I'm hauling resources from one planet to another, you know what I mean? Like, there are things to do, but really at the core of it all, it is the same Bethesda formula. You are living in the world. You are being whoever you want to be. So whenever it comes to Elder Scrolls, to get back to that, real quick, I'll get this real quick. Thank you so much, my friend. Gamer Life Studios, a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, you guys, for all the support tonight. It's been incredible. Really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Almost 50 people here. Please hit the like button. Leave a like at the least and a sub at the most, as I always say. Gamer Life Studio says, I believe Elder Scrolls 6 will be releasing late holiday 2077. I do not mind procedurally generated NPCs. It helps to flesh out the world to make it more feel more alive. Yeah, totally understand that. Procedurally generated NPCs, yeah. And I think he's talking about more like the uglier NPCs in the world of Starfield versus the ones that have like quest lines tied to them. Totally agree.
I mean,
at least they're walking, but
yeah, any character in Starfield that has a name, it looks really, really good, but then the random pedestrians look funky.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
If you play, you can't name a lot of games that have a lot of like public pedestrians. It always drives me crazy when I play these games and everyone gathers around for this big moment and there's like 7 NPCs behind you going, yay, yay. I'm like, why can't they just like fake a crowd? Like, why can't you just procedurally drop in like 200 people in the background and then have 8 animations just randomly like you see in the movies? But yeah, that always drives me crazy, these big moments. Everyone gather around, this is the big moment. I see that all the time in games.
And see, let me get this real quick. Blah, blah, blah. OG Frost, good to see you. Nikki Z, I see you, bro. Thank you guys so much. For Mirez, so many people jumping in here. Really appreciate. I can't even name everyone. I sincerely appreciate everyone being here. That blue number says, go check out the Amazon Prime official Fallout TV show page. There's a mysterious countdown on it. Well, we're going to talk about that next. Thank you for reminding me. See, at AJ True Yellow, I apologize. If BGS isn't as far along with Elder Scrolls 6 development than we think, do you guys think BGS could afford to delay the release to 2028 or later under Microsoft's new profit quotas? I feel like if anyone is going to have enough time, is going to be given that amount of time, it's going to be a studio with a pedigree like Bethesda. And I always make this comparison. Everyone was really upset whenever what was it called? Interactive, the Perfect Dark devs. Whenever the Perfect Dark game was canceled, what was it? What are the studio? What is the studio called? We're terrible. We're terrible at our job.
I've made like 19 videos on them. You made me when you said IO Interactive. That's all I can think of. The initiative. The
initiative. I knew it had an I and an N in it. There we go. Like people were really upset with that, but whenever it came to numbers, they weren't doing anything but draining money. They were taking a long time for their project, and they didn't have anything to show for it. Now, if the initiative had, over the past 20 years, had banger after banger, big IPs like the Elder Scrolls and Fallout, they would have given them more time. That's just my opinion. So if they have to push Elder Scrolls to 2028, if anyone's going to get away with it, it's going to be Bethesda. That's just my, and they have Fallout 76 as a live service game as well. So, yeah. That's what I think. DeMarcus says, a game that has no release date can't be delayed. I kept saying that whenever Starfield got delayed internally again. I was like, it didn't get delayed again. We don't have the release date for Starfield. Stop saying it got delayed again. There were so many videos made about that, and I'm like, whatever, it's fine. I agree with you.
We had leaks that the game was coming out in 2021. You know, there were pretty strong leaks that the game was coming out in 2021 and it was coming to Starfield, that it was coming out in 2021 to PlayStation 5 and Xbox, and there was a whole mess that went on there, and then Bethesda got bought by Xbox, and
so
but you know, it's frustrating to think 10 years is like, geez.
So J-Man Games says, I will bet everything, my friend, that Elder Scrolls 6 gets shadow dropped, guaranteed. We talked about that earlier. We could go into that again, but I think Colt and I are I don't know. Are we on the same page of it? I don't think it's going to get shadow dropped, but I think it'll get announced and then released very shortly afterwards. Is that where we're at with that?
They're like, I'm arguing with a good friend about, he thinks it's 2028, 2027. At the very end of 2027, the earliest, probably 2028. And I'm like, well, they've been working on it a little while, and King Fan Man said they started full production in 2023. But at the end of 2022, that Lex Friedman interview with Todd Howard, Todd said they had the whole opening of the game, the first part of the quest line, and the character creation was all done for Elder Scrolls 6. Mm-hmm. And so Lex Friedman tried to get more information about Elder Scrolls out of Todd, and he's like, I'm not saying anything. Good, nice try, right? And I made videos about this way back at Christmas. I remember that video. A lot of people watched that video because I took the Lex Friedman interview and broke down information about Elder Scrolls, Fallout 5, and Indiana Jones, because he talked about all three games that were in the works. And so if they've been working on, I don't know, would you believe that they were working on a bunch of stuff for Elder Scrolls while they were spending that last year of development for Starfield at launch? And I really feel like they've got a skeleton crew working on the Starfield 2.0 update. They've got this core crew of the Starfield leadership that are working on those updates. But it could be possible that Elder Scrolls 6 has been in production since 2022. And so you're talking 4 years. And another thing I have to say is people are like, well, there's no way it's going to take them 6 years to make the game, 6 to 8 years at least. I'm like, but everyone keeps, and I said this yesterday on my show, everyone keeps laying on the excuse that everything is applied to the COVID era, that 2020 to 2022 or 2023 era where there was like a vacuum of 2 years where every game had a 1 to 2 year delay. Everyone, my friend, every game. And everyone's like, oh no, that's just how it is now. It's like, no, it's not. Like, look at all the other, Obsidian's put out games. They put out 2.5 games last year. Insomniac's been putting out a game every 2 or every 2.5 years, like big games. And so everyone says, oh, this is how it is. Sorry, I got to use this new mic setup. Everyone is like, this is how it is. The games take forever because there's just delays. And I'm like, but people were working from home, and like studios had 15 people in them. Everyone was working from home and emailing their stuff and talking over Zoom. I think those days are over. And I don't think we should sit here and be so pessimistic that we're not going to, that Elder Scrolls isn't coming out till 2028 because they don't realize they're blaming it on COVID still. And what it sounds like is Elder Scrolls 6 production started after COVID had kind of done its thing. So I don't know. I'm more optimistic about it, and I will gladly wait 3 to 6 months if it doesn't, come out at the end of 2026. And I have videos saying that Fable is coming out in 2024. I have a video saying that we were going to get Perfect Dark in 24 or 25, and no one comes back and goes, "Remember that thing you said 3 years ago? Vacuum yourself."
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. No one's coming back to apologize.
Whatever.
No, continue. Actually,
They're not
continue
coming back to
for
apologize.
45 seconds, please.
Yeah, okay. And then there's there's people who might keep score. Oh, so and so from this outlet's never right. He never gets anything right because remember that one time he claimed this was going to happen and it didn't. Like, that's just something you're going to see. But Elder Scrolls, there's a lot of work being done right now, and Microsoft has put so much pressure, finally in a good way, on Bethesda to get these tried and true franchises out so they can start making money. The time to sit around and just update Fallout 76 and Starfield is not what Microsoft wants them to do. So I think they are fast tracking Fallout 5 and they're fast tracking Elder Scrolls 6. And if you're talking about 1,500 employees at Bethesda Softworks, and I also think, this is my personal opinion, I think there's a couple of studios from Xbox Game Studios Group that have probably been asked to do a little bit of consulting or maybe help with engine work or help with busy work. I wouldn't be surprised if Ninja Theory has been told, hey, what can you guys do to help either Elder Scrolls 6 or the Fallout 5 project? And I think that's probably something that's happening right now because they have to get these games out. And Matt Booty said a couple months ago they have like 40 projects in the works that they haven't even announced yet. So I wonder how many of those things are Bethesda projects, because King Fanman says there's 8, and I wouldn't count like 3 or 4 of them because I think you're talking about two remasters, an update to a mobile game, and Fallout 76 work. That's like 4 games. But the other 4 are probably Elder Scrolls and Fallout related. So I think it's a good thing. That's what we need. We need more production. I'm tired of waiting.
Tired of it.
And I'm not going to sit here and just say, it's not going to happen. Good luck. Good luck. Wait till 2030. No, I'm going to say, hey, I'm talking about 12 months from now, Red. I'm going to sit here and say, man, I hope we get that game in 12 months. And if we don't, if we get a reveal sometime this year and they say 2027, I'll say, oh, I guess it's next year.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and be so negative and be miserable. I'll just play something else.
Good things come to those who wait.
Yeah.
And honestly, as fans, there are still people playing Morrowind and Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and whether it's modern or not. And those people that are still playing those games, they're perfectly fine where they're at. Like you guys were last night on your show on XNC, we're talking about hardware. There are people that are perfectly fine waiting, and it's usually the people that are not like it plugged into the internet like we are every single day and seeing all the delays and seeing the stuff that the casual players don't even get to see all the time. And really, we shouldn't even be seeing this stuff. It's only whenever someone's like, hey, here's this little thing that you're about to get, and then it gets dangled in front of you, and then it gets taken away, and you're like, it was almost there.
Yeah.
Well, if you hadn't known about it to begin with, you weren't going to be upset anyway, right? I'm right there with you. I'm totally fine with waiting. Totally fine with waiting.
Stop revealing so early, too.
100%. Oh, my God. Yeah. 100%, dude.
I also feel like, and I feel like the industry has started to learn this, so revealing early and making you wait 2 to 4 years is awful. So if anyone's to believe that Bethesda is going to start marketing for Elder Scrolls 6 this year, then I believe they really intend to put out that game at the end of the year. And hey, maybe they need 3 to 6 more months.
Right.
Maybe they need another year. Maybe like they get down the middle or the end of this summer and they're like, we want it to be the best it can be, so we're no longer releasing at the end of November, which sounds crazy when, or putting the game out in December or something. So it sounds crazy with Grand Theft Auto 6 in there, but I don't know. Everybody always underestimates that consumers will absolutely buy every game they want to play. And if November 19 you get Grand Theft Auto 6, and then 1 month later Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out, even though you're still knee deep in running around as Jason in hot pants and just having a great time, looking smooth and looking good, you're still going to buy Elder Scrolls 6 the day it comes out, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm going to.
Yep.
Because what I'm going to do, and I will not shy away from, I'll play the heck out of Grand Theft Auto 6, and then one day I'll come home and go, I'm really feeling like playing some more Elder Scrolls. And maybe I'll leave Grand Theft Auto 6 for a couple days, and then I'll go back, and I'll have the time of my life while everyone else complains about, oh, we'll never get to play him.
Exactly. And you're just sitting there just enjoying everything without the I love that. That reminds me of Fallout. Speaking of Fallout. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it sounded just like it. That was you, that right? That wasn't a soundbite?
Yeah, I don't know. I just did. Yeah,
that was
love it.
perfect. Yeah. So speaking of Fallout. Oh, go ahead.
It's not a commercial. Here, I'll cover up the brand name.
That way I
Zero
don't get
sugar.
flagged.
Yeah. You get a copyright strike. Zero sugar root beer. It's delicious.
What?
You love
Okay. Did not know that was a thing. Okay. I'm gonna have to look at that. I haven't had root beer in years.
I've tried all the zeros and diets. This one tastes like 95% like regular root beer.
That's amazing. And it's A&W. Probably wasn't allowed to say that.
It's A&W.
A&W is like, we haven't made money in years.
Well, I mean,
we got a lawsuit.
It's A&W without the A.
Yeah, that's right. Let's throw it back to the beginning of the show.
I love a cold, refreshing and W.
And W. Love that. It's Andrew W. Thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out to over 60 people here. It's amazing. Really, really appreciate it. And if you're just now jumping in, you're a new subscriber, this is a weekly podcast. It's finally back. Every week we go live Tuesdays, Eastern Standard Time at 6 p.m. I don't know why I said it in that order, but it's true. We always talk about whatever the hell is going on in the gaming news, in the gaming industry. And today we're talking about all things Bethesda. So please hit the like button. It helps a lot. It's free, and it means a lot. And thank you all so much to the game. I was looking at Game Seeker. Thank you all so much again to channel members. I appreciate you all so much. I don't know what the hell's going on with me right now. So many things coming through.
Thank you to the Game Seekers.
Thank you so much to the Game Seekers. Cool.
I meant to write without, but I was in a hurry.
Colts, thank you, bro, for doing that. He says, "Hippie New Year." With the A's. Love you, bro. Why? I don't know. It threw me right into a Canadian accent. I don't know why. How can you read that?
It's oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year with the A's. Love you, bro. Hey, thanks. Game Seeker's like, and you're not a channel member
watch the Toronto
anymore.
Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays. Oh, no. Oh, God. Well, pause. Yes, thank you guys so much. Thank you for doing that, Cole. You need to do it, bro. You're here. Let's see.
You're here.
DeMarco.
Can I thumbs up my own?
You can.
Yeah, I can.
You can't thumbs up your
Game
own.
Seeker put the
Can you thumbs up your own?
Put the frowning.
On your own time, maybe. Not live on the show.
Game Seeker gave us the dissatisfied Fallout Boy pic on the emoji there, like,
that's
oh,
right.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, look, and that's for game. I keep trying to say game channels. I don't know what I'm trying to say. For channel members, you get access to those emojis, Bethesda focused emojis, including Todd's beautiful, wonderful face right here. Boom. And then the Bayazera. Right there he is. You get all those guys right there. Boom. Mass Effect.
Yep.
Me.
Mass Effect.
Some of
there's a couple missing there. I used one of your emojis on my channel that we made together. I think the Fallout Power Armor one.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we spent an afternoon
man, that was so much, dude. Yeah, thank you again for doing that. Yeah, Colt is responsible for everything, my friend, including John. I haven't seen Jonas in a while, but Jonas also is responsible for everything that you see here, except for the little name tags that I threw in there. He is the reason. He is the executive producer of the show, and I appreciate him immensely. But you know what else I appreciate? Fallout. And wait, hang on real quick. Sorry, I didn't want to skip over this. DeMarco said early production started in 2023. Elder Scrolls. Full production started in 2024. 4-year dev cycle, potentially 5. Insomniac and Obsidian aren't making the massive open world games Bethesda do. They had the 3-hour demo too, but that's probably all the game elements working in isolation to see how they all come together. Could easily have little to no voice acting done, limited landscapes, limited landscaping, etc. That's true. Which is what
I mean,
just wild. Again, why did they announce
I
it in
guess
2018? That's
Can you? I don't. Because they were trying to. Well, they were desperate in 2018. They were trying to bolster themselves up to be a purchasable product, and that's why they made Fallout 76. That's why they shared that they were working on Elder Scrolls 6, so they could posture themselves to be purchased. Let me see how long the Spider-Man game took, because Spider-Man from Insomniac, that is a open world game, but it's not like a Bethesda open world game. You can't do anything in that world, but you have a gigantic city that you can explore around. You have side quests and emergent stuff there, and then you have full dungeons that you load into, which I'd call them dungeons, where most of the game takes place is in loadable places that are not explorable in the city or inside warehouses, stuff like that.
right.
So let me see, how long did it take to make? It took them 3.5 years to develop the first Spider-Man game. Of course, Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2, a lot of work was already done in design and everything like that. So, I mean, can Bethesda make a gigantic Elder Scrolls game in 3.5 years? I don't know. Who knows?
And I guess it just comes down to...
I just know it's going to look incredible.
It's going to look incredible. It's hard to say, like... We could even get into, I don't know if we want to get into like procedural generation versus AI technology and whatnot, but Bethesda has always used procedural generation to help boost production time. And as you've said before, now AI can be used as sort of like an elevated version of procedural generation to lay the foundation for landscapes to sort of help production. But I don't know how much of that is really going to help boost production time. I don't know. But it would still be for all the leaks and all the speculation that we've done and all the rumors that we've heard over the past few years about Elder Scrolls 6. It's going to be a huge game. I mean, they can't just put out like a Skyrim 2.0 and like, there you go. Not that people would be unhappy with it, but I don't know. The production time does.
People are going to.
It is surprising.
Yeah, and people are going to realize how great Starfield looks when they see it in the genre that they like. So I try to tell people, like, imagine Fallout 5 or Elder Scrolls 6 with the graphics that are available, like the fidelity that you get from Starfield.
Right.
The problem with Starfield is everyone like looks. I really hate that people, they can't see the huge open space, the gigantic planet you're orbiting, or the gas giant. Like they don't care about that stuff, you know.
Right.
But the game is beautiful.
People focus more on like the video game aspects of video games.
Well, I mean, you should though. You should.
Yeah. But you and I are like looking at the stars and looking at our ship and walking around and I don't know. So there are some games that are so incredible just to like live in them, like a GTA or like whatever comes next with GTA. GTA 5, I would say it's probably a little more difficult, but maybe Red Dead Redemption 2, those kind of games. Yeah. But anyway, Ruin, Canadian $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Says happy Tuesday, Pookies. That I missed the Elder Scrolls 6 discussion. We're going to end it here, but please hit the like button, save this podcast, catch the replay, and you'll see the beginning to end discussion of the Elder Scrolls 6. But we are going to stop right there. We're going to jump into Fallout real quick. DeMarco says it could be worse. Oh, sorry. It would be worse if we all knew right now Bethesda made an online game and an okay space game, and it's been 15 years since the IP I actually enjoy. People would lose their minds. Yeah. The less you know, the better. The less you know, the better, for sure.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for the super chats and the member joins. But so okay, Fallout. There's been there's this countdown on Amazon's website that's counting down to February 4th, and there's an image. It looks like the Fallout Pit-Boy map with the green and everything, and there's a little symbol at the bottom that says shop, and then above it there's like another symbol that has a countdown, and the countdown ends on February 4th, which I believe is the same date as the season 2 finale of the TV show. So what a lot of players are thinking, and I actually agree with it. It's a great theory. At the very least, it's a great theory. And a King Fan Man was saying this whenever I was on his show as well, saying that right now Microsoft isn't wholeheartedly focused on Elder Scrolls. Right now they're looking at the numbers and saying Fallout. So we've heard rumors for a long time that a Fallout 3 remaster or a Fallout New Vegas remaster is happening. Or, from what I've seen recently, people online saying this is absolutely not a leak, saying it over and over again, almost as if it is a leak and they don't want to be called out for it, that the Fallout 3 remaster and Fallout New Vegas remastered are bundled together as a $70 to $80 package to be released on February 4th to keep the hype going after Fallout Season 2 ends. Shadow dropped. And perhaps shown at the next this month, right? There's the January 22nd, and then when the Xbox Developer Direct is happening? I don't know.
I don't remember what day of the week it usually is, but I think it would be, my guess would be the 3rd week of January, so the 19th through the 23rd. So yeah, maybe the 22nd. That's just a guess, so I haven't heard anything.
So what do you think? What do you think if Bethesda and Microsoft and Amazon, this whole plan has been in place obviously for at least well over a year? Because this stuff comes at us very last second, and we're like, they must have made this decision last week. It's like, no, this stuff takes time to make these huge decisions. Do you think that they could be now? Let's just say that. I haven't watched season 2, so please keep it spoiler free. I'm actually rewatching for the second time season 1 of Fallout TV show to get more. I said it earlier, but just to get ready for season 2 because I'm really excited to watch it. Let's say that season 2 ends with the group, whoever they may be, heading into the Capital Wasteland, just like they headed into New Vegas at the end of season 1. Capital Wasteland being where Fallout 3 takes place, or the Commonwealth, right?
Yeah.
Keep me honest here. What if then they say, let's keep it going by saying, boom, Shadow Drop, Fallout 3 Remaster. We've been talking a lot about Shadow Drops, but at least maybe an announcement. I don't know. What do you think? What's best case scenario for whatever this countdown may be? I don't know.
I mean, it could be a countdown for a shop to open for merch when the season ends, but it sort of sounds like, I don't think it's ready, but it sort of sounds like they're going to reveal the Fallout 3 remaster, because I think if anything was ready, Fallout related, like to play, that maybe it would be to show that. But I mean, I don't know. I guess they could say Fallout 3 remaster in Unreal Engine. Here's what it looks like, and it's coming out June 2nd or something. I don't know. I just can't really see it. But a countdown there makes you think they've got something up their sleeve. I just don't know what. So
I just feel like they wouldn't be teasing it in such like a light way. And this meta stuff, like the nerds definitely latch onto it, but it's like whenever something that you really love is taken away from you, you're like, I want more of that. And if what they was like, hey, we got you.
Yeah.
We got you. Fallout 3 Remastered available right now, or whatever it might be. Do you really think that they would tease a merch store in this way? I don't know, because I feel like that stuff should already be available.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need a countdown to sell your merch. You should be selling your merch as soon as while the people are watching the show and hyped up. King Fanman's in the chat and he says, "Yep, show season 3, tease season 3, and then Fallout 3. Bingo is what he says."
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I would love that. And hey, I'm like I said, I'm one of those guys who's like, hey, I'd love to be excited about the prospect of that instead of saying, no, no, no. Fall outside like on a Family Guy. No, no, no.
So true.
Yeah.
I'm just being the negative Nancy.
The donkey. Yeah, the donkey like arguing with the guy about Kevin Bacon's not in Footloose.
Right.
Kevin Bacon's in Footloose. What are you talking about? No. Hee-haw. That's how people are.
It's so true.
I swear, like I get excited about something, and yeah, maybe I've been burned a lot of times, but I don't sit and sulk about thinking a game's gonna come out one year and it doesn't. I just adjust to play something else.
Right.
I don't know. People are like, yeah, that's whatever.
King Fan Man says,
I mean, that's what I do on my channel.
Yeah. We both do that on our channel. We both do that. We love to talk about what we're excited about. We don't like to talk about what we're worried about. You know, it's like I can talk about what I'm worried about with my friends, and then make a video about what I'm actually excited about after I parse all those feelings behind the scenes. Like I know everyone's different, but man, like in a space like this, in an industry like this, it's all about entertainment and having fun. I just can't get behind.
It's an entertainment medium. People act like we're passing bills over here in the Congress when we're talking about what Starfield could possibly get, or Stalker, or what year or what time we think a game will come out. And people get so angry. I'm like, it just the way that they react, like to just attack someone personally like crazy. Like I couldn't tell you the hell to be reviewed comments, because YouTube likes to hide stuff when people swear and use foul language, and people are so mad when I said gameplay details, because, you know, I heard about the combat and I heard about the ship battles and stuff, and people are like, of course they were hoping to see what the game looks like. We all want to see what it looks like. And I did my best to illustrate what Elder Scrolls 6 could look like. You know, you and I have like found really amazing, heavily modded Skyrim footage, or I took some footage from Oblivion, which looks probably close to what Elder Scrolls 6 would look like, you know, if it was downgraded. Yeah, I mean, these are things like paint the picture. Like, we are gaming fans. Like, it's your responsibility to temper your expectations. Stop telling me to temper my expectations. If I tell you, hey, I can't wait to play this game, I hope it has this, we're hearing it has these things, if that pisses you off, man, I would hate to be that easily upset, I guess.
Right. Hate to wake up every day and to see a video where someone's excited and then somebody tell me that I'm wrong and then I'm an idiot or I'm clickbaiting or like whatever. It's like, don't be mad at me because I'm regurgitating. I always say I'm regurgitating information. It is what I do a lot of the times. But I want to talk about it because I love to see people's excitement and I feed off of that excitement. It's great. I love being excited and I love speculating about stuff too, because what else? If I just tell you exact facts all the time, which sometimes we do, we just say this is exactly what's happening. But I like to have fun and be like, what if? What if? Be like, oh, what if Bethesda could make a good game for once? Like, it's just, you see it all the time. It's such a miserable mindset. It's such a Noise Mofo, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. Missed you, man. Mortius Shrek says, yeah, people need to relax. Exactly. Yes, exactly.
They really do.
Yeah. But yeah, whatever's happening with Fallout, it would be great. And
King. I love King so much right now.
If they want, see, the King fan says,
don't read what he said.
Oh, I saw at the end of the thing.
Because I don't want to single anybody out, but there definitely are content creators. There are two types of gaming content creators.
Agreed.
And they're both kind of lame in their own way. Like, there's the Red and the King fan man and the Cole Eastwoods that are like, they've got a smile on their face, they get overly excited, they probably get let down too many times, but they are celebrating the games industry. They want to get people around them and are like, yeah, high five too. I'm excited about that too.
Right.
And then there's the other side. All they do is talk about how doomed everything is. It's cooked. It's over. Everyone sucks. Everything's failing. This is never coming out. This isn't going to happen. They've ruined everything. And I don't care. I've had plenty of great success and met amazing people by having a smile on my face. And then there's other people who had great success by being Mr. Frowny Face and being Oscar the Grouch and saying they're cooked. It's done. They ruined it.
Yeah.
And fine, go make that content. But if I lived my life in this gaming space every day where I was scouring the news looking for what fit my. Here's what you do as a content creator. Sorry, hopefully this.
Please continue.
You can like relate to this because
I know. What
as a content creator, you are constantly scouring and looking for stuff that you want to talk about and report, and that maybe you're good at relaying that. Like we call it regurgitating, right? Like like the Elder Scrolls 6 stuff. I didn't do any of that. It was a bullet list off of Reddit, which stayed there for a week. It was on for 6 days, and they usually yank that stuff when it's unconfirmed or not, or they think it's bullcrap, right?
Right.
So I'm like, this is good stuff. It's the second time we're hearing it. I'm going to make a video on it, okay? So what you do is, as a content creator, you are all consumed. You wake up in the morning, you look at your phone. What is in my wheelhouse that I want to cover? My life is I'm not trying to make myself sound good, but my life is, let me look for something that we are excited about, something that's coming up, something that we can be excited that people want to enjoy. And I make videos on that every single week. And then there are people who wake up and say, who's ruining the industry? Who is in trouble? Who is being closed? Who is overworking the employees? Who is jacking up the price of everything and making it impossible to build PCs or buy a console? And if I lived in that world, I would be dealing with massive sadness all the time because the negativity's there either way. When I'm looking for that stuff, Red, I see all the bull crap that those guys are going to go cover. Yeah. And when King Fan Man said, just let them go be that way or go watch those content creators, there are people in this world who would rather watch videos about how crappy everything is. Like some guy sent me a link to the Starfield is ass video. And because I told Gene Park, Starfield is incredible. 4 screenshots of me playing the game this year. And some guy's like, here's a video I didn't make that shows that Starfield's ass. I'm like, and I just muted the guy. I'm like, who does that?
Right.
A guy probably doesn't even play Starfield.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I'm sorry, that was my TED talk.
No, I loved everything that you just said because, and I won't even. And look, and the thing is, at the end of the day, respect to all content creators because regardless of whatever kind of content that you cover, depending on how you portray it, respect to you. It still is time consuming, and it is whatever. If it brings you joy to cover negativity the majority of the time, that's your whole thing. That's your people can put titles on those content creators all that they want. But I'm never going to call anyone names. I'm never going to be that person. I'm never going to call a kettle black. You know what I mean? I'm never going to, all they do is cover negativity and then call them a bad word, call them a C word, Canadian or something.
They can also, I should add, they can also be very helpful to the industry. They can stop bad practices, or they can put a halt to things that people might think is acceptable that might be ruining the industry. And I know they feel like they're helping, right? They're like, oh, let's get these ugly women out of video games, and let's, they say things like, we don't need women developing, and there's all that stuff. And then there's just like, we need to stop this AI stuff because it's driving up prices. Like, I know that they're trying to help, and then they get feedback because they get a lot of views and stuff. So it's not all bad. I'm just telling you that if I lived that way, where that's the content I'd be looking for, it would make it very difficult for me to enjoy the hobby the way that I do, because most of the time I'm super excited. I'm just looking for the next thing that's going to make me happy, and I sit down and I play it.
Right, exactly. And I think that there are different ways of covering news. Like you said, you pretty much said everything that I could. You said it really, really well. And shout out to Baldy, who says, "Hi, I'm from Australia, which is 7:30 in the morning for you. No, 8:30 in the morning for you right now. I think. I love the content,
awesome.
Lads." He says, "Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all so much for being here." But to your point, whenever I wake up in the morning, I'm not looking for something to be angry about, And whenever people come to my channel, I want them to have a smile on their face already and saying, "Oh, what is the new exciting thing? What's the new update? What's the thing that I missed because I don't have a Twitter account, or I don't check Google News, or check gaming news, or check all the websites like we do." And go through all of that effort just to be disappointed or whatever. I want to be excited about something. So mad respect to those people, but I want to be happy, man. I want to be excited. And I've had close friends tell me that's toxic positivity. I'm like, so you're saying that I'm toxic because I'm excited? I'm like, but you're never talking about anything bad. It's like, I don't want to. Look, whenever I want to talk about something negative, I will. It's because I'm passionate about it and I want it to improve, not because I'm concerned about it. And my thumbnail's like, I don't
Stop telling me to not be excited. Stop telling me to stop enjoying something that I like.
Right.
That happens all the time. Like, oh, you're still playing Starfield? Why? I don't know. I'm having a really good time. I'm running through the Unity over and over. I never thought it would be this enjoyable. Why are you playing that? That is so crappy. What are you doing that's so bad? I'm like, why are you telling me that?
Right. What are you
know.
getting out of it? What you wake up someday? I don't want to start off the first podcast after 3 months and start.
Look at
Exactly. It just I could go off on such a tangent right now about the type of people that do this, but I won't. But really well said, seriously, because I feel like it needs to be said. It really does need to be said. And someone in chat said, "I'm so sorry." See. It was Shrek, Mortius Shrek. I hope I'm saying that right. Says exactly. Speculation is super entertaining. It's fun. It's fun, man. It's fun to say, hey, what do you think is going to happen? It's like, oh, it would be really cool if the Brotherhood of Steel or whatever, or the Thalmor and Elder Scrolls came back or whatever, and then you have someone being like, wrong. Do your research. It's like, dude, we're just no. He's like, dude, I just want to have fun, man. Come on.
Well, I understand, like, I use a lot of words that keep me out of legal it's not legal, but I call them like my legal words. Like I say, it's very likely, or we're hearing that, or leakers are saying, or it's very possible that we could see the game by this time. I say those things because that's my speculation. And people always want to point the blame, and the perfect example is when someone goes, oh, so you're saying that all game developers should have their legs cut off? That's what you're saying. I'm like, I didn't say that.
Literally didn't say that.
You said that. People
Right.
do that to me all the time. They do that to everyone on social media, right?
So basically,
oh, you're saying that? Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're not. So if we're talking about rumors or speculation or stuff, or saying that we're hearing this is a conversation that always happens, right? You aren't gonna like this. It's your responsibility to take rumors and speculation. I hate when people say, take this with a grain of salt. I know we all say it, but it goes without saying that when you're talking about speculation and rumors, that it's up to you to believe that as much as you muster or want to or don't believe. And you can sit in the background and say, nah, ain't gonna happen. Or you can say it in the comment section. It's fine. But when people are like, I'm genuinely excited about the prospect of going on the water and doing ship battles like Black Flag. Hey, I said it right.
You said everything. Good job.
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
Why are we talking about Fall Guys? So,
Shout out to Risk.
shout out to our good friend on a podcast who misspoke and laughed it off like a good sport.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's a great
Love
dude.
him.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the prospect of going on the water and doing Black Flag style ship battles in Elder Scrolls. And hey, maybe the game will get shown off sometime this year and there's absolutely no ship battles. And you know what? I'm saying, man, I wish that was there, because that would add that extra element that's for me. But then I have a friend like Fonz Gaming. He doesn't like the ship battles at all in Assassin's Creed. Like, not at all.
Oh, really?
And he's one of the few. And so if that comes out and there's no ship battles, he'll be like, yes. But I would say, like, dude, they're probably not going to make you do them except for one quest. Like, you don't have to do them, but man, I would sure love that. And that's just the attitude you and I have. And I always, well, I haven't said this like publicly, but we were in a group of people meeting like across the party chat and stuff. And when I heard Red's voice and his laugh and his jokes, I was like, that's a guy I can get along with. And we've always kind of been on the same spectrum.
Right. Yes.
You know, we like the same things. We have the kind of the same humor, and we both get excited about the prospect of something cool. And sometimes down the line, not all that stuff you thought was going to happen happens, but you still love the game anyway.
Right.
I mean, we're not talking about, it's not rocket surgery over here. We're just playing video games.
Right.
And just take it as you will. Like, we even enjoyed Dragon Age Veilguard for what it was, you know?
Right.
We enjoyed a big aspect of it. And then you just move on. Like, we didn't make 19 videos about how it didn't meet our expectations.
Right. Yep.
Could have, because that's a big Dragon Age fan you are, but
exactly.
I'm sorry, that's a whole lot. Sorry about that.
No, I mean, dude, bro, it's so true. I mean, and I feel like a lot of people sort of lose themselves in their own entertainment, and they because they're so hyper focused on it, and that is what they look forward to every day. And whenever something gets crushed in their opinion that it's negative, it ruins.
Yeah.
Like, for example, this is such like it's such a niche thing, but like, Oblivion Remastered came. I'm trying to like keep it on topic, but like when Oblivion Remastered came out, it was only digital, right? And I'm someone who loves physical media. I was so excited about it, but I was still like, man, that sucks. There's no physical edition. You know what? It's not going to ruin my day, but I am like bummed about it. But I didn't get on Twitter and start cussing out the developers and yelling at everybody for everyone yelling at me saying, who cares about physical anymore? Get with the times, you I almost said it out loud, but all the bad words that people call you. You can fill in the blanks, just all the terrible things that people say. And it's like, but you know what? Guess what I did? I waited. They actually have a physical version. I own it. Got the steelbook. It's wonderful. But there is something to say. This is not just gaming. This is the whole world, right? The whole world online is terrible and toxic. So whenever it comes to this medium specifically, if it's focused on fun, that's what we're going to focus on. And if you're yelling at me because I'm excited about something, that's okay. That's part of your world. That's part of your world. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I know I always say that, but sincerely, thank you all so much for all the super chats and everything. It's been absolutely incredible. We are going to continue just for a little bit longer. See, DeMarco always has such good points, and he's just popping off. I don't even know where to begin here. Let's see. DeMarco says, the issue is what people is that what people like are things people don't want to see perpetuated in other places. Like, I don't like empty planets in Starfield. Point. I don't want to see big empty spaces in the Elder Scrolls 6 because, whoa, big. Like, as if, like, that's the big spectacle. That's the thing we should be impressed by, is big open spaces in the Elder Scrolls 6.
I would ask DeMarco, do you think that Bethesda has gotten the clue that people don't like that aspect of Starfield? And the other question is, do you think that they are fully planning on remedying that problem and not carrying it over to Elder Scrolls 6? I know one thing that DeMarco said a lot, and to make his point, is that I don't want the sins of Starfield to ruin what could be great for Elder Scrolls. But I think at this point, especially if you believe they've gone into production, after Starfield launched, that most of what they have heard is, why did you give us all this empty space with nothing to do? And they can't do that with Elder Scrolls 6.
Right.
So I believe, since I'm, an optimist, they are not going to repeat those mistakes with their new game. I don't think they will, but a negative person says, oh, they're going to do it because they're dumb or they don't care.
And I always try to break this down. I try to break this down as much as I possibly can. And I'm not saying this as an excuse. I'm saying this as I'm objectively looking at a genre that makes sense in the context of the most realistic version that we can get in a video game. No Man's Sky. You travel to a planet. It takes you a long time. Dude, you hold those pulse drives in No Man's Sky. It literally, you put down your controller. I don't know about you. You put down your controller. It takes like a minute and a half sometimes to get to a planet.
I didn't know you could. I'm holding it like this is not a fun thing.
Yep.
Holding on and waiting for this pulse drive. I just want to, I would actually rather than flash forward me right to the atmosphere.
Right.
And I don't like the pulse drive thing for 2 minutes.
Right. But it is 100% a thing. Right. And because Hello Games wanted to give as far as we can get with technology and video games, they wanted to give a good representation of what it would be like in space, but also not, bore you completely to death. After you spend those 2 minutes, you hold down your pulse drives, you set your controller down, you scroll on Twitter and have everyone yell at you for being toxic positivity, and then you pick up your controller, you're finally at the planet, and there's nothing there. You have little aliens running around and plants to scan and whatever. It's the same thing with Starfield. And again, it's because of the genre. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to break down the intent that Bethesda had with a space simulation game first. And I say that simulation first. It's space, right? And so if we had a game set in one solar system with 10 planets, like a lot of people say, you would get Mass Effect. Mass Effect is a linear RPG first focused game. If we had everything, and if you remember, there were complaints about Mass Effect 1 when you could land on a planet and drive around with and you just do a bunch of nothing. Even
and everything looked the same.
And everything looked the same, and it was boring for a lot of people. I mean, even at the time, back in 2007, I was kind of bored with it. I was like, let me just get to my objective, you know? And if that mentality is there, that it means that it's okay to not like Starfield or whatever they're doing, but the reason I'm not concerned about Elder Scrolls 6 versus that type of delivery with the simulation aspects is because Elder Scrolls 6 is not a space simulation game. And I think Bethesda shot their shot, and then they realized that not a lot of people are really interested in this type of genre. The issue is, and to be completely fair, is that people do have an expectation because of the pedigree that Bethesda has. They had an expectation, like it should have been smaller. They should have played to their strengths. They should have had 10 planets with, let's just say, I don't know, you know, like Winterfell. I said Winterfell. I've been trying to. Oh, let me switch it up here. Oh. God, I'm going to have to remove everything here. There we
go. You fixed that.
There, it's all fixed. It's all fixed. I'm going to lose my train of thought. Why don't you come on camera, coward?
That's the point.
Why don't you come on camera even yet?
Well, listen,
welcome
listen
to Marco.
Here. Y'all best listen here. I'm taken away from my precious Fallout 76 time to justify my own existence to all of you.
Are you really?
Beast.
Oh, Shunk.
Yeah.
Are you on PC?
Yeah.
Are you on PC?
Fallout 76. Take me home.
Okay, I think DeMarco's having an existential crisis. There he goes. There he goes.
There he is. Are you? Bring your mic back up. Bring your mic up.
There you go.
Are you? Now it's not working. What are you doing? Did he sit on his mic?
Right as I'm making the best point that I possibly can to Marcus, like, let me cut you off so you can't say the thing that you need to say.
I can hear you, DeMarco. We can hear you. Put your mic up to your lips and do a little tune. Yeah.
Look at this, DeMarco. I got all the
DeMarco,
things.
are you playing Fallout 76 on PC?
Hell yeah, brother.
Dang it.
Oh,
I did all of my time on Xbox, and so you can't transfer over.
I got
what level are you?
Four, actually.
You level what?
4.
You just started?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, all right.
Oh, sorry. Let me put that away.
You know what? It's because here we go. That.
Yeah,
all right, perfect. So I wanted to. I wanted to just.
Why do you look at the name in the corner?
I know. I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix it all. I
wanted to just explain because Colt said, "What would you say to blah 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 blah?" And I didn't listen to the rest.
Oh yeah.
I just felt targeted and attacked because it's the internet and everything.
Yes, go ahead.
No, I'm just messing. I totally didn't feel that way. But
yeah, I want to hear your answer. Like, what's your answer to that?
The thing I always say, and I don't always convey it the best because I'm horrible at English, but the thing I always try to convey is, yes, the sins of Starfield. Procedural generation is one aspect, right? And it applies conceptually to other areas. So, for example, I don't remember who you said, but you said somebody doesn't want any ships in Elder Scrolls 6. I don't want ships. I do not want boats in Elder Scrolls 6 at all. Because that's taking away dev time from the things I actually care about. So when I think about, for example, Starfield, right? You had shipbuilding, you had flight mechanics, you had settlement building, and you had the questing, right? And even their own developers described it as like 3 or 4 games in one. I forgot which developer at Bethesda, but that's how they said it. And so when I sit down and I play Starfield, I think to myself, oh damn, like if it would be great if they had just focused on the going on planets and the going and doing the questing, that part of the gameplay loop, because that's what I like. So when someone says, oh yeah, throw boats and pirate raids and ship battles in Elder Scrolls 6, I say, okay, but how's that going to impact like me going in dungeons? And people say, well, you could do both, it's optional, it's just gonna be optional. And I say, yes, but do you know how much time it takes into concept art, game work, testing, design for the oceans, like shit. You, especially for boats, you're flying and now you have physics to worry about when you're piloting a boat, not in a 3D empty space like you have in Starfield, which is a lot easier to do. And you have to do the modeling for the boats. You have to do all the mechanics. You have to make content there, which means that the content in the spot of the game that I like, which is on land, going to dungeons, naturally exploring these places, I'm losing some of that because they need to spend time doing writing, doing quests, doing locations to explore out in the ocean to make that, or in the bay, Iliac Bay, wherever it might take place, to make that fun. So that's where I come from whenever I say, like, hey, I want things to be, you know, I wouldn't mind a Skyrim 2. That's what I enjoy.
Game adaptation goes, I want Zeppelins.
Yeah, oh, I mean, hey, you know, you never
In the lore of the actually back in the years 1577,
When Michael Kirkbride was writing, he actually
the wood elves could actually craft them from leaves and sticks and glue them together with their butt cheeks. Thank you. It just works.
But anyway,
go ahead. Hey, no.
that's the Elder Scrolls, is doing things with your butt cheeks.
Elder Scrolls 6 with a grappling hook.
You're so DeMarco, you're saying we always touch on this conversation. We never.
No,
really...
we're not friends anymore. I know you've made it very clear. Because I said your hat was silly too many times.
Yep.
You son of a big. I'm trying to keep it family friendly as much as I can. So I totally understand what you're saying. You're saying that you're concerned about them adding too many features and not focusing on, let's just say everything was Skyrim sized, right? You're worried that, let's just say they have the Skyrim sized thing done, and now they say, now let's add ships. Let's add.
That's not how game development works, though.
Okay,
right?
but,
Yeah.
but
not,
you're saying you're
you
saying
don't
that
just
they're
sit down
adding
and say-
ship stuff and they're adding base building and it's taking away from the core aspect. No matter what,
There
comes
is a
first.
ship team, though, isn't there?
They
Would
break
there be
them
a ship team?
separate. They break them down into separate teams, but when you think, I mean, one of the biggest issues that Bethesda and a lot of gaming companies are facing now is that they're just too big, right? So the thing that made a game like Skyrim was made by 100 people. The thing that makes a game like Skyrim great, and Jonas has gone in depth about this is because it's the water cooler conversations. Is when those guys are sitting around and say, hey, this would be a cool thing, let's just do it. But now you look at modern Bethesda and it needs to go through 8 levels of approval before it hits the person, and then in order to do it, you realize 3 weeks later when it goes through those levels, I'm exaggerating, but when it gets to that level of approval and then someone says, nah, actually we can't do that because this team all the way over here can't do that, or in time, or we don't have the budget, or whatever it might be. So yes, they have a separate team, but even like that in and of itself slows down a lot of the process, right? That's why Obsidian can crank out 4 games. You said before, like Obsidian's cranked out 2-3 games in a year because they have individual teams, but they're working on entirely separate projects. It's not multiple elements of the same project.
Okay, so but you're I'm asking. I'm not saying. I'm not putting words in your mouth. You're saying that you want them to focus on the core game first before adding things like base building and ship building, right? That's why you don't want it.
I think it just needs to be more focused. When I talk about my main criticisms with the Starfield, it's that it's all over the place. It does feel like 4 games in one, and I think it's 4 mediocre games in one, right? Instead of having one good game.
Yeah.
To make 4 imperfect games, right?
Sure.
I think they took inspiration for the ship combat from, like, it was from FTL, which is one of my favorite indie games. Keep crying, Colt. I'm gonna make it worse.
You hurt me on that one.
Sure, I'm just like,
here comes the Are you ready for the twist?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. There's more? Mom? DeMarco's hurting me again.
Dress me. Yeah. Come put my pants on. I need new ones. True 77
So do I after Starfield release.
Ships, the best kind of ships. Says more to use Shrek.
Stupid.
That's so funny. Oh my god. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, DeMarco. Sorry. By the way, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
What the
It's
fuck?
good
You
to
just
see you.
Jump in 3 months later.
Oh.
Good to see you. Haven't been anywhere. Here we are. Yeah. Never played it. Never enjoyed it. That's an insight.
Okay, you were saying how mediocre.
It's how
ahead.
mediocre. It's four disjointed things, and I think like if Bethesda set out and they said we're gonna make a really good space sim, like space game, like where it's the space mechanics. I think they could have nailed it honestly, and they said we're doing something different than what we ever done before. It's the space stuff. They could have nailed it if they said we're gonna do 4 or 5 smaller planets and they're gonna be more fleshed out, which is an idea that's passed around quite a bit. I think that would have been fantastic. I think if they wanted to make a dedicated, like, if you've seen the mod Sim Settlements, and they said, we're just going to do, we're going to do our own survival game, and it's settlement building, and that's the game, which is actually what Fallout 76 started out as, I think they would nail it. But
I got to interject.
Yeah.
The 5 major planets are not that fleshed out. For 5 major settlements that you go to, or 4 or whatever it is, they could be way better. There's just not enough going on, especially in Aquila, which has got the whole Star Wars vibe. There's just not enough there for me to even be there. Like there's a couple big quests there, but yeah, I mean,
I liked the petty.
Neon should have been so much bigger and better. And I mean, people think I'm a big Starfield fan, but those things are so glaringly obvious to me. When you talk about if they would have focused on those things, they didn't even really. I don't think they did enough for those main planets.
And they couldn't because they spent so much time trying to make sure that all the other tech worked, right? Because they said we need to overhaul these procedural systems. And credit where credit's due, they have, and Todd Howard talks about this, and I know people meme him all the time, but they have dynamic lighting based on what the gravity is and how close it is to the sun and like what stars are nearby and all of these great, and it's really neat that you could actually watch the passage of the sun because it actually orbits the freaking it's cool details, but that doesn't necessarily translate. That's all time spent doing where they could have fleshed out, hey, let's make this area around Aquila instead of just having, here's Jemison, and guess what's around this planet that's been populated for I don't know how long it's been in the lore, but instead of having just a planet and then you walk outside the walls and it's just like nothing. Like, look at all of this. They could have made it like have suburbs outside, like a modern envisioning of the Imperial City. Right?
Yeah.
What would that look like surrounding Jemison if they were able to do it on the scale that the Imperial City's actually supposed to be? That would have been a lot more interesting than how does the lighting impact the gravitational procedural generation of this rock over there that's realistically crafted because we spent 3 years perfecting that system. That, when it comes down to, that translates on a lesser scale. My whole argument is that translates on a lesser scale to, well, we're going to focus on all of this ship sailing mechanics over here, right? Which means all this other stuff that even you as a Starfield fan can pick out, all this other stuff gets pushed to the side because a studio has limited resources. I feel like a lot of people think, oh, well, it's Bethesda, it's Microsoft, they could do whatever. They don't. Every studio has limited resources: time, money, people. They can't, you have one at the expense of the other 10 out of 10 times. And so, anyway, that's my long and short of it.
What if the game has
Fix
been
it.
done for a long time, and then they said,
It's
you know
not
what?
the Todd Howard's garbage, and everything's terrible, and everything's doomed forever.
There it is.
And Todd Howard's leather jackets are overrated.
I just had to say, I'm so glad
And
that
Fallout
you jumped
76 still kicked my grandma.
kicked my
Sorry,
grandma,
my dog.
took it. Right,
I need to get it right for the lawsuit.
replace her oxygen
How
tank with a
bad
helium
76
tank.
was that I'm currently playing.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. No, your points are always. I guess it's always about like I want to see the end product. Like if we had gotten, let's just say that we got a Elder Scrolls 6 in place of Starfield, and it had shipbuilding, and it had whatever, but it also had literally the equivalent, everything that Skyrim had. Would we be worried? You know what I mean? Like, would we be like upset about that? Like, or do we just want more and more and more? Because feature-wise, Bethesda is always about like, here's this one system that you can engage with. Here's this other system that you can get. But it's not necessary. You don't need to. King Fanman in the chat actually said, I would like shipbuilding if it was DLC to sort of flesh out the game first and foremost.
Yes.
But what if those
That's
systems
the
were
way I
already in
suggested it in the
place?
past.
So like, what if we got Elder Scrolls 6 and we never had a Starfield, but then we had shipbuilding and whatever, but it was the exact same scale as Skyrim.
You can't do it that way. What you can and you can't do it. It's very hard to do it that way, right? Because when a feature like that, it's like Gotham Knights. It's a weird example, but stay with me, right?
Yeah.
Gotham Knights, when you go up against a boss in that game, it is designed around having 4 people. The world is think about the Batmobile in Arkham Knight.
True.
The world of Arkham Knight is designed for having the Batmobile to drive through those streets.
Yeah.
So you can't just say, hey, we have this game, we designed it like Skyrim, and then we're going to add in ships, because the world is not designed that way. So you could argue, okay, they're going to generate a whole separate part of the map, and that's where the ship stuff is going to be as DLC.
I was going to say
that's
that.
Usually,
I was going to say
that's
that.
usually not what happens, right? Unless
Iliac Bay.
you could do it in a live service game like Fallout 76 potentially, because that's where it fits. You want to do a map expansion like Burning Springs. I know they didn't have anything like this in Burning Springs, but it makes
I know
sense
what you
there,
mean. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The world,
There has to be, yeah.
A world
there has to be,
designed
like-
the way Skyrim is, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, there has to be
That's a
like
great
a
point.
world built where you can go out to the ships, get on the ships, and take off, and then either transport to where you're out on the open water, or actually organically go out in the water like you do in Black Flag. Like you go to the shore, get on the boat, and then set out on the water. And I don't think you don't do that in Odyssey or Origins. They have like a preset spot where you're in the boat, so that's like a separate instance of the game. So it's
a really good
if
comparison.
that is true, that there's ship battles, that is built now. Like that is a thing that they're doing right now, where you can craft your own ships, you can go out on the water and fight. And
But
I mean, that could be
Yeah.
really troublesome, because the ship battles in space in Starfield, I think, are pretty fun. I enjoy them.
yeah.
But are we going to play Elder Scrolls 6 on the water and go, it was way better in Black Flag?
Well, and
Or,
you're-
will they make it better?
and you're to your point, like this is in a perfect world. Look, if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, there's no ships, and Todd's like, that you guys are idiots for falling into all of those traps or whatever. It's
Yeah.
perfectly. I'm still so happy. I don't care. It's not a make or break for me, but it is a perfect world, like you said, DeMarco, and like you said, Colt. Both of your points are right. If it is literally like if we get nerdy with the lore, if you look at like the Iliac Bay, you look at like the coast, right? There is everything below the coast. It's all land. It's not like it's in Black Flag or Odyssey, where it is all these islands spread out, like these big islands that you can go and explore. And like once you land there, you're on land for a considerable, a large amount of time in the game. And then the actual ship building, the ship combat, the exploration with the ship, it's sort of like an afterthought. Like you're like, I've been on land for like 7 hours now. Time to get back to my ship. I feel like that's best case scenario, but you have to nail the actual land exploration first. Jonas in chat says, I don't want more systems. I just want them to make a good world that I want to explore. So in the best case scenario, it would be something like a Black Flag or Odyssey, right? So DeMarco, what if it was something like that, where you don't necessarily need to use your ship all of the time, but it's like if you want to get from place to place, you're spending 10 to 15 hours on land, and then now I need to get in my ship and go to one place to another. That's still 10 to 15 hours. I'm like I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I mean?
Because at that point I would be in some capacity like, hey, I'm spending a lot of time on land, but then my options are presumably, maybe they have immersive fast travel options, right? You can like go to a boat on the shore, and there's a guy who's like, "Yar har, I could take you to wherever
Can
you want to go, yee
You're
hee,
right.
tally ho."
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
fast travel like immersively, right? Okay, cool. But theoretically, then it forces me to interact with that system. And I'm not saying I don't want to interact with the system. I am just saying that in my perfect vision of the Elder Scrolls 6, a great example, I would rather them, for example, focus, like, don't worry about spending a lot of time it takes to program the, like I mentioned, the wave mechanics, right? Like, they're never going to have... Starfield does a lot of things good, but it doesn't do anything better than other games. And that's one of the major problems I think a lot of people have with it overall. So I would hate to see Elder Scrolls 6 fall into a similar situation where the naval combat is not going to be as good as Black Flag. The water and the actual sailing and the physics of the water is not going to be as good as Sea of Thieves. The repair mechanics are not going to, and like this on-sea survival mechanics are not going to be as good as this other, right?
They better be.
It'll be there, but it's just better in every other place, and I'd rather have that experience in other places. What I would rather see them do is, for example, they had a really cool fundamental system with the Civil War, right? It was not very great, but it was there. It was interesting. I'd rather them, like, what would it look like? Because especially in Hammerfell, where you have the issues with the forebears and the crowns going at war, what does it look like if they said, let's forget the boat stuff, let's make this Civil War, and you have actual castle sieges, and you have real armies marching, and it's dynamic, and it ebbs and flows, and you're taking part. That is so much more conceptually interesting to me than let's throw boats in there because we had ships in Starfield that were okay.
But what if it made sense? I guess. I guess that's sort of my thing. Like, if you had if you can picture it in your head, like you excuse me, you guys have seen the map images of like Iliac Bay, right? It's sort of like 75% land, and then like the rest of it is just out there, right? And you don't need to engage with it unless you want to, right? And again, like to King Fan Man, he was saying, if it's DLC and it's added later on, right? Like if it was something that you chose to interact with, would that take away from the core experience? Because I feel like, especially in games that focus on it, like Starfield, No Man's Sky, they fundamentally are focused around that type of exploration. That is, and again, it's based on the type of genre that it is in a space sim. I would hate to see an Elder Scrolls game that is like one big landmass, 40%, and then the rest of it is like a ton of islands spread apart. And then the whole game is about you just being you're like, I'm not a pirate. I want to be an assassin. I want to be a mage. Why are assassins, mages, warriors, necromancers all using boats to get around in this specific region? It doesn't make any effing sense. Like that kind of stuff, I totally agree with you. But if it's something that you don't need to engage with all the time, I feel like, more features are kind of exciting. Let me see. True77 says DLC mechanics are cool if they are world living experiences like base building, fishing, hunting, crafting, etc. Ship battles sounds like a core mechanic, right? And I think that's sort of what we're talking about. We're just having a fun discussion here. We're not yelling at each other. DeMarco's yelling at us, but no, I'm just kidding. And again,
Bolt's
DeMarco,
yelling at me
I'm glad that you're
internally.
here, DeMarco. Really glad that you're here. If it is based around that kind of stuff, and the game is like has like a core focus, that could definitely be a problem, because the reason that people love Elder Scrolls games are for the one landmass, and you have all these. You don't know what you're going to run into, because there are no loading screens in between, from region to region as you're running around and whatnot. But I don't know. I guess it's always a fun discussion to have, because you don't know what you're going to get. But when you compare an Elder Scrolls game to a space game, that's where I go, well, it has to be dissected in a really careful way, because I don't expect those fundamental issues to cross paths with each other. I don't know. That's just me. But I don't know. Colt, do you have any thoughts, worries, concerns, tears?
I mean, if they really wanted to put ship battles in, I feel like it'll be like every other Bethesda game. If you don't want to build your outpost, you have to do one light part of the tutorial and then you move on. You might have to like modify one ship and maybe go out on one thing where you knock down 4 boats or 3, and then that's it. And if you want to go back, you can do that. If you want to be an assassin or a thief and you don't want to be on the water, you won't go out there. But there's opportunities when you go out into those locations. We are hearing of this twice. It just makes me think that maybe there's some truth to it. Like you said, all those leaks about Fallout 4 have come true, you know, after all those things were revealed. So maybe there's some truth to it. And I'm like that one of those guys, like, if you're hearing it about, I'm going to be excited about the prospect of them putting on the water battles in the game. And if it comes out, it'll be awesome. It'll be for me. And if not, then I guess I'll say once, oh yeah, remember that was going to have shit battles, but it never had it. I mean, nothing gained, nothing lost, I guess.
Right.
That's kind of how I am with it.
Yeah. But DeMarco,
So.
your points are totally valid. Like, I'm never gonna be like, you're wrong. Oh, there goes my camera. I love this. Oh, perfect. What is happening right now? Don't switch. Don't switch. Turn on camera. All right. Well, that was the
Nintendo
easiest.
Switch.
That was the easiest. Anyway, your points are totally valid. I'm never gonna tell you that you're wrong. I totally understand that you're concerned, especially after we waited so long for a full-on Bethesda game, and then we got Starfield. And I have a video that I don't know if the video's already out yet, but I talked about the concurrent player count with Starfield versus Skyrim, and it's really low. It's really low, and it has been forever. It's not like it's like a secret to anyone, but people are going back to those games that resonate with them for a reason, and not a lot of people are sticking with Starfield. There's a very small, dense community of Starfield lovers. And a lot of people that are still, I feel like the most important thing whenever it comes to Starfield versus the next Elder Scrolls is that the reason that people are interested in Starfield is because they want to see it improve, not because they are loving it right now in this moment. I feel like the majority of people are wanting to engage with what's next and what could draw them back into the game or make the game better for them because it didn't resonate with them. I feel like that's a good sign. It's a good sign. So again, hopefully they don't just can it. I don't know. DeMarco, do you have any other thoughts? You want to yell at me? That's
Just
a
that
good
you
look.
both look very handsome today.
You look really handsome. Look at your little fade you got going on there. God damn. Look at that son. Damn. Shit.
Anyway, good to see you. I'm gonna hop off. I just
Got
felt like
your
explaining
ass.
that. And got you wet. See you all next
oh my
time.
gosh.
Okay,
I should
thank
go.
you.
Wait, I could do that here. I gotta get back to Fallout 76 and base building and all the other stuff in there. And
I should go.
There we go. Thank you. Damn it, I got so back.
Just like that.
he does.
Oh
He's
my
done that. He's done
gosh.
that since the beginning of time. Shout out to DeMarco. Thank you so much. I appreciate him jumping on. He'll be on next week, and I'm putting that out into the universe. It'll be me and DeMarco on next week, so be excited for that. That is. So anyway, Colt, we went 15 minutes over. 15 minutes over. I'm gonna have
great.
to remove High Guard from the topics list because who the hell cares? We didn't want to play it. It went silent. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
But
It's one of those things, right? Where it's like, I don't really have anything nice to say about it. I'm not interested in it. So
yeah,
I don't really have an opinion.
never played
Other
it. Never
than-
enjoyed it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those. It's how it goes, right?
Yep, and that was the whole. So look, we touched on all the topics. Essentially, we did. There we go. And same here. I don't. King Fan Man says the castle building notes Todd had was where settlements came from in Fallout 4. He wanted you to build your own little kingdom and wanted you to become the lord of the land. Yeah. So that is definitely a thing. They're not going to forego features that worked in other games like Skyrim and Fallout. Like they're not just going to do away completely with the base building and whatnot. But the shipbuilding is definitely a point of contention, as it obviously as DeMarco jumped in to yell at us. DeMarco says castle building, but not in the style of settlement building. Make it like Hearthfire. Oh yeah, I loved Hearthfire. It was much more intimate. It was much more. You got to build nails, and then you got to build wood and planks to put. Like, I love that kind of stuff. I really do like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Again, slowing down the gameplay is not necessarily a bad thing. It makes it more meaningful. So, I would love that. Colt,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
could-
bringing
go ahead.
back. I know you and I love going out in the world, and part of your exploration is like. Normally, I only need arrows and things to heal or potions. But since I'm out and I want to build my settlement, I'm going to grab certain items while I'm out doing my quest and bring them back because I want to set them in there, or I want to decorate, or I want to build, or I want to craft, or I want to work on my armor. And that brings more meaning and more ownership to the game. I love that stuff. And then if you pass that on, that was the complaint with Starfield, right? Why aren't you collecting stuff so that you can upgrade your ship? You just go in and start spending money.
Right.
It's like, what about all this other? What about all this other stuff in the world? Why can't I put that in my ship? My ship storage or whatever, and then I can build off of that. Ting, 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 ting.
Right. And then
That
you
would've been
feel like
amazing.
you have built your ship rather than like, I mean, honestly, you and I have probably spent dozens and dozens and dozens, 50, 60, 70 plus hours, maybe more, just building ships. And that was amazing to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like there is like a meta level, and then there's more of like a, I don't know what better word to use, like an intimate level of like being there with your character, doing things, seeing the animations of you building your ship. There are definitely two sides to that same coin, and I love them both.
Yeah.
But I think one might outweigh the other for other, depending on what type of player that you are. But dude, we could literally just go on and on, but we can't. We shan't.
We
but
mustn't.
We mustn't. But guys, don't leave just yet, because I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. It means everything. It's incredible how many people showed up for the show. It's the most people that we've had in a long time, long time. And everyone, my friend, showed up for the show, and it was absolutely incredible. So don't forget, this show goes live every single week, guys. So every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live, and we talk about everything. I wanted to kick this show off after being gone for 3 months, specifically with Bethesda news and Starfield, and talking about Elder Scrolls and stuff like that, because that is 100% where the core of this channel is. So next week, who knows what we're going to jump into? Who knows what guests I'm going to have on? I don't know. Maybe it'll be everyone. I'm sorry. Stop saying But I can't thank you guys enough for showing up. It was I didn't expect it. We had like 11 people, and then we had like almost 100 people. So please leave a like at the least and a sub at the most. It means everything. I really, really appreciate it. Ion Storm says epic show, and Colt, glad you're back. Much love from this side of the pond. It's so late for him. It's like 2 a.m. for him. But
Holy cow.
sincerely appreciate you guys. So if you liked this, I would love to see you guys in chat next time. There's so many people here tonight, but they didn't say anything to anyone. Like I want to see you guys chatting and talking to each other and having fun. That's what this show is all about. So if you like that, then you're in the right place. But Colt, tell people where they can find you. The link for your channel and the Twitter is in the description below. So please go check out Colt's channel. He is a massively huge channel. Massively huger than mine for sure. But yeah, Colt, tell everyone who you are, what you do, and all that fun stuff.
You can find me at Cole Eastwood on YouTube. I put out a video this morning that highlights some of the coolest games that you probably forgot got announced that are actually coming out this year. So that's a pretty long video, but basically each game gets about a minute of screen time. So you basically, you get to see just gameplay when I show that and kind of set up the stage for that. But check that out and show your support for that video. And I will be covering probably maybe Fallout 76 soon. I've got a special video that'll kind of brew up behind the background. It'll take a while, but thank you for all your support. And it's good to be on here with you and have a good time. It's podcasting it's a whole life, but you know, when you podcast with friends, it's good. And so it's good times.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, like whenever you're podcasting with friends, you're just like, King Fan Man said it, you got podcast brain. You're like, I completely forgot what I was going to say. Let's talk about this one thing that you just now said. Yep. Like, you just completely forget. Colt also has a XNC podcast that goes live every single Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central. Is that where you're at? Or Pacific?
I'm 5
Where
p.m.
are you?
Pacific.
Pacific. Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
in Washington State. Yeah.
There you go.
And what is it? It's just past 5 o'clock here
There you go.
on the West Coast.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. And thank you guys so much. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the membership joinings and whatnot. And I don't know how to end a show anymore. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Later.